Edmonton Sports Talk. My God, I loved it.
My name's Jay Milne. #Blue.
Our sports update deliverer, the Koob.
I'm Zachary Kubusch, and you're up today.
You know what, Reid?
You might be on to something.
All right, here's what's going on in the nest. Oh, into round two we go. Oilers Vegas, of course, will start tomorrow night, 7:30. Oilers on the road. We'll have coverage getting you ready all day long on Edmonton Sports Talk. 6 o'clock tomorrow night, the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas leading into that 7:30 puck drop. Of course, we'll have a preview of the series today. Jay and I are going to do our guaranteed to be correct second round picks. Jay did quite well. Almost perfect, some would say, in the first round with our selections there. We're going to talk about what the Oilers said at practice today. Knobloch, Kane, and Draisaitl all spoke. We'll have some of their key comments. Danny Webster, who covers the Golden Knights, is going to be on the show as well. Ken Reid, who would have been waiting anxiously last night for that game to end to bring you the highlights, will check in as well. And in about 20 to 30 seconds, a very happy reunion, at least for me, Jason Milne, and a first time for you talking to this gentleman. We're just getting his shot ready. If you're watching on the YouTube stream, what a thriller last game. Like, wow.
What a weekend.
I would almost use the word unbelievable. People know I don't like that word. That approached unbelievable. My goodness.
And I mean, the first missed shot, you think, okay, it's over.
Yeah.
And then somehow, bing, bang, boom, it's in the back of the net. I mean, that was just unbelievable. And then back to back, like massive saves in that first overtime, breakaway-like saves. I wish we had somebody to talk about
I
it.
wish we did as well. Proud to be reunited on the airwaves with this guy, though I haven't lost touch with him in the last 10 months or so. Kelly Hrudey checking in on the Reid Wilkins Show with Jason Milne. Kelly, how are you doing, buddy?
Reid, great to visit with you again. Hey, Jay, nice to meet you. And my apologies for sounding this way. I've been banged up for about 10 days, and so it just comes and goes. But really nice to chat with you again, Reid.
Yeah, thanks for taking time to hop on. Let's dive right in. I mean, look, you're an analyst, but you're a hockey fan, and you can't help but have a visceral reaction. Like, what were you experiencing just as a viewer watching that Game 7 last night?
Well, it was interesting because we went through a whole bunch of different comments behind the scenes when all of us were chatting about the game. And I think in the second period, all of us sort of agreed that all the Winnipeg Jets have to do, they don't need to score right away. They just need to sort of get their legs under them. And so it was kind of cool post-game when Adam Lowry was speaking to Scott Oak, and that's what he said. They said that they could feel the game tilting in their favor in the second period. So that's what we were witnessing as well. And David Amber, he was hosting last night, he said, well, they need to score in the first 5 or 10 minutes. And I said, no, Dave, 10 minutes would be okay, but they still have time. They just have to continue to play the same way. And lo and behold, under 2 minutes they scored, and then with 1.6 seconds. I think for us, at least, I can't speak for everybody, but for me and David, anyways, because we erupted in the studio, it was disbelief, really disbelief. And then, you know what was interesting, Reid and Jay? So we're in our room, we call it the Lotus, where we watch all the games and we have all the different TVs set up. So Elliot said to our stats person, can you tell me how many times St. Louis has been scored on with the goalie pulled? And so 6-on-5 this season. So our stats guy, Steve Fellon, comes back quickly and says, well, unfortunately for them, they lead the league in that they were scored on 6-on-5 13 times in the regular season and last night twice. So 15 times they lead the league. You wouldn't want to be in that category. And so that was shocking to all of us. And unfortunately for them, they get scored on again. Great for the Winnipeg Jets and great for Sportsnet because we have 3 Canadian teams on the network now.
Okay, I'm glad you brought up 6v5 scoring with the goalie pulled. So it happens last night twice. Edmonton actually did it in twice in game 1, even though they lost.
Yeah.
Bouchard did it in game 4. And don't forget, LA did it in game 6. So that's just the Edmonton series. And then last night's game, I feel like, and I don't have any stats to back this up, but I feel like it's happening more often, that there are goals 6v5. Do you have that sense, or like what's happening now 6v5 in the last few years?
Yes, I do have that sense as well. And Kevin and I were speaking. We thought that it was pretty common for most teams to get scored in that situation 2 to 3 times in a season. And so we're going to get our stats guy to look into that and find out. And then I don't know if we're going to sink our teeth into it, but it does seem awfully unique that it's happening on a more regular basis and at key times. I mean, playoff games, you couldn't be more key. And because teams are so good defensively, goaltenders are so amazing, we've got to try and figure out why this is happening, because it, to a certain degree, doesn't make much sense. And now, even if you look at the 2 goals last night that Winnipeg scored, the first 6-on-5 goal was off the defenseman, Ryan Suter. So it's not like it's a great play. And the game time goal was a broken play, which turned out to be a brilliant play. But it wasn't setting up to look that way, right? So it's just, they got a great break from a bad break for St. Louis.
Okay, a couple more for you. I know you're busy. I got one and Jay's got one. I don't know when this has even started, I think, in the era of me covering the Oilers. And I think Knobloch was fooling around yesterday with Skinner in the starter's net, and then it was Pickard today.
Right.
When you played, was there a starter's net, or did you and your backup, or I guess earlier in your career you would have been the backup, but you know what I'm saying? Like, was there a starter's net, or did you just go like, no, always go to this end, you always go to the other end?
There was definitely a starter's net. I remember one time a coach wanted us to throw everybody off, so he had a switch. And that kind of made me angry because there's a familiar feeling you have in that starter's net. That's your net. You take ownership of it. And interestingly enough, I saw that, and then I saw a couple things on X where people are saying that they got word that it's going to be Skinner. So I think at some point that the Oilers would like to go back to Skinner.
Kelly Hrudey joining us here on the Reid Wilkins Show. Kelly, it's Jay. I just want to, we're on the eve of game 1 between the Oilers and the Golden Knights. What, in your opinion, is the key, or are the keys for the Oilers to be victorious in this series?
Yeah, Jay. So for me, just at first blush, I'm sure we'll get more into it when the series starts up, but it's going to be the depth of the Oilers, because when I covered the Calgary Flames versus Vegas late in the season, I mean really late, I think Vegas only had 3 games left or something, I was blown away by their depth. I thought, holy cow, this is a team that you've got to really prepare for in the playoffs. They can go deep because they come at you with all sorts of great skill on the top end lines, and their D is phenomenal, but I was blown away by how good their 3rd and 4th lines were and their D on depth. And that was a storyline for the Oilers beating LA, right? That they got a lot from their depth players, and so that's going to be a really cool matchup to watch, Jay.
Yeah, big storyline, and you're right, especially in contrast to how LA used or didn't use their 4th line and their 5th and 6th defensemen for sure. Okay, Kelly, this was great. I know we've kept in touch, but to be on air with you again after all those years we did Inside Sports is incredible. Who knows? Maybe we figure something out for next season and you join us more regularly.
Agree. I would like that again, Reid. You got it, my friend.
Okay, talk to you soon. Enjoy the games tonight, and of course the Oilers series is going to be a blast. We'll see you soon. Thanks.
Nice chatting, gentlemen.
There it is. Kelly Hrudey. First time talking to him, Jay? Yeah, he's awesome.
He's awesome. He's I've met him in person a couple times.
There you go.
Ran into him.
Great.
And I was like one of those guys that would be like, "Hey, Kelly, how you doing?" But just stop and talk to you.
Yeah.
You know, like a very nice guy. Obviously, he does awesome on that panel because I think it's interesting, those former players like that. They just give a different perspective, but it's a perspective that it's almost like they're not talking down to you, they're talking with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, this is how I see it, and this is what I think's going on. And I thought, yeah, it was really nice of you to get him on. Well done.
He's really honest. Sorry to cut you off. I'm so excited. He's always very honest about that mental side of the game. Like, he's never one of those ex-players who's, oh yeah, well, no, that never bothered me. Like, he's talked to me a lot about how he felt in a certain situation or games where he didn't feel great or something's going on in his life and he didn't feel well. And I liked how he said that. No, I cared which net I was in at practice. If I was starting the next game, I wanted to be in the net where the starter usually stands in. I mean, it's going to be Pickard in game 1 tomorrow, even though the Oilers haven't formally announced it. I don't think there's much doubt about that. But awesome to reunite with Kelly Hrudey, especially in the wake of, those 2 game 7s. Like, honestly, Jay, that Colorado-Dallas game already feels like it was 5 days ago. It does. You're right. It was just on Saturday. Because watching last night's game was, okay, so first 7 minutes, like, it's over. And that's like, well, okay, maybe it's not over. Oh, no, it's over. Oh, now it's really over. Oh, well, maybe it's not. Oh, no, now it's over. Oh, no, it isn't. Because didn't Ehlers fumble the puck with like 25 seconds left and it went out to center?
Yes.
And then they kind of, even the first time it went back to him, it didn't look like they were going to make a play. Just a phenomenal finish.
Well, yeah. And like Connors whiffed on it the first time. By the grace of God, it bounced back to him, whipped it over to Ehlers, and then that tip. I mean, the Perfetti goal to send it to overtime was the thing of beauty in its own. I mean, that was just a beautiful play. So yeah, that was awesome. I mean, that's exactly what you want out of Stanley Cup playoffs.
So 3 Canadian teams are alive. The maximum would have been 4 because obviously Ottawa and Toronto were playing each other. So, that dream continuing of
21 years it's been since 3 teams.
3 Canadian teams made the final
second
4.
round. Yeah.
Well, the second round, final 4. Okay, so 20. Let me see if I can remember this. 24 years ago was 2004.
Yeah.
So Calgary was there. I think the Leafs would have been there. And was it... Who was the other team? Did the Canadians make the second round in 2004?
You said Calgary?
Yeah, because Calgary made the Cup final. But I think they beat Vancouver in the first round, so it couldn't have been Vancouver. Must have been the Leafs and the Canadians. Because the Jets didn't exist. The Oilers didn't make it. Ottawa. Ottawa would have. No, it would have been... No, sorry. It would have been the Flames, Leafs, and Senators then.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I'm just looking it up here.
I forgot about the Senators. How awful. I apologize.
No, I saw that.
To everybody in the capital region.
It was pretty interesting, actually, that it's been that long. Right?
Yeah, well, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. We're going to have a great show. We got a lot to get through. We're going to, of course, do a lot of teeing up for the second round series between the Oilers and the Golden Knights. We're going to give our second round predictions. Jason Milne, awesome first round. His first ever foray as a broadcaster into playoff predictions. And I don't know how to say this. He basically was perfect. He basically was perfect, but he wasn't. We'll explain.
Yeah, we will.
It was phenomenal. It was perfect.
I wish I would have went to Play Alberta and done something about that at the time.
And we will have your play of the day for Play Alberta.
We will.
A little bit later on.
It's one that I've been waiting my whole life to give.
Oh, what a teaser that is. How about even I'm more titillated than usual. Of course, Edmonton Sports Talk presented by Play Alberta. Play Alberta, your home for online gaming excitement featuring casino games, live dealer action, lottery, instants, and, of course, sports betting. Now with the new Play Alberta app, you can take the fun with you anywhere. Download the app or sign up today at playalberta.ca. All right, as always, we are happy to hear from you. First of all, if you are consuming us with the video element on YouTube, you can jump into the nasty chat there. It's not just the normal, it's the chat, but we call it the nasty chat. Some people are like, where do I find this nasty chat? I go on YouTube and I don't see it. It's the chat. But, if you're gonna get into the EST lingo, we call it the nasty chat. Click the thumbs up button there as well. Well, you guys have been doing a great job giving us a lot of thumbs recently, so let's keep that going. Click, click, click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click? You must click. Thumb, thumb, thumb. Now, one of the last things I ever expected was that song would be a thing, because that was one thing I did jokingly on the spur of the moment. Colin the Amish man sent me this over the weekend.
Sub, must you sub? Please, please sub. Must you sub? You must sub. Subscribe.
So subscribe on the YouTube channel as well. Wow, I did not expect people would be riffing on that on my little jingle. So, all right.
Reid, it was Montreal, Toronto, and Calgary.
Oh, so the Senators, Toronto probably beat Ottawa in the first round.
Toronto beat Ottawa in the first round.
Okay, so, and then who did Montreal beat in the first round in 04? Boston, and then they lost to,
Tampa.
Don't tell me.
Oh, sorry.
Tampa.
Yeah.
And then.
Who did Toronto lose to?
Philly?
Yep.
Then Tampa beat Philly, and then Tampa beat Calgary.
That's right.
In the final. And Calgary beat San Jose in the West final.
That's right.
And sorry, who did Calgary play in the second round? Did you say that?
Detroit.
Oh, right. Yeah, Detroit. Okay. All right. So anyway, we now have people doing their own versions of the click, 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 thumb, thumb, thumb remix. That is unexpected and, quite flattering. So anyway, jump into the nasty chat on YouTube. Click the thumbs up.
Play the sub one more time.
Sub. Must you sub? Please, please sub. Must you sub? You must sub. Subscribe.
That's one of the great things about Edmonton Sports Talk. It really takes on a language of its own. There are a bunch of sort of inside jokes, but if you become a regular listener, but I will say this: Dusty still does stuff on the morning show when I listen that I have no idea where it started or what it exactly means.
Yeah,
but I like it.
I like it too.
Yeah,
I like it a lot.
What's this win yeah thing or whatever?
I don't know. But
apparently
Tom
it's got me do it on air the other day.
Do you want to try it?
Well, was it win yeah?
I think, can I get a win yeah? Win yeah? I don't know.
Koob's way better at it than we are. Anyway, where was I going with all this? Oh, how to get in touch.
Yes.
You can listen, of course, on iHeartRadio. That's an app. TuneIn Radio. That's an app. You can email Reid at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, Jay at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. If you would like to send a good old-fashioned text message, you send it to 780-218-9999. That's the afternoon inbox presented by River Crib Resort and Casino, home of Tap 25 Restaurant, where the entire menu is 50% off 7 days a week from 2 to 5 p.m. All right, we expect a lot of interaction from you today. So, and of course, we are going to, as always, bring you our off-topic topic where we have a little bit of fun with sometimes something sports-related, sometimes not, but something that you may be talking about or discussing in your everyday lives. Our off-topic topic is presented by William Huff. Since 1952, William Huff has provided industry-leading advertising solutions for thousands of valued clients. Their unparalleled customer service, combined with decades of industry expertise and a desire to make every job the very best it can be, is what they call the William Huff Advantage. Visit their website at williamhuff.com or give them a shout at 780-454-4536. What was it, 27 degrees on Saturday? Not as nice yesterday, but still a decent day. What summery thing did you do for the first time this weekend? What summery thing did you do for the first time this weekend? Maybe you went for a horseback ride. Maybe you knocked down a hornet's nest from the side of your house. Would they already have nests that size?
So. I think it's a little early.
Maybe you hornet nest proofed your house.
You know what we saw?
I cover my house in duct tape. That keeps the hornets away.
Yeah, double-sided though.
Double-sided.
We saw a robin making a nest on one of our lights in front of our house.
Oh, how romantic.
Yeah, it's beautiful. She was just starting the mudding process. Very small, but it was neat to see.
So that's what that
She's
robin
busy.
did.
Yeah.
That robin built its first nest of the new season.
That's what it did.
Yes.
We broke out the slip and slide.
Did you really?
Well, it was my youngest birthday yesterday, May the 4th. Yes, her birthday's May the 4th.
That's good.
So she had some friends over, and my other daughter had a friend over. So they all thought it would be a great idea, as windy as it was yesterday, and as not warm as it was yesterday,
right,
to break out the slip and slide that Grandma had gotten for her birthday. Had to do it.
Oh,
They
nice.
immediately regretted it. So it was out for about 10 minutes. But it was
But
summery.
still, it was out.
That was summery.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
I noticed just more people, even around my neighborhood, just more walking, more runners, more things like that. So that was pretty cool.
Like Castor 1990. I mowed the lawn and turned some garden soil this weekend.
Yeah, I'm sure.
That was a summery thing to
Minnie
do.
Cooper said I pulled weeds in the backyard.
Yep.
So
Very welcome to
there's
summer.
another one, but I'm sure we'll get some other maybe traditional or interesting submissions.
Well, it's amazing the weeds that popped up over the weekend just because that heat. They love it.
Yeah. Well, one thing I noticed is you could barely see the road from the heat coming off.
Okay.
Okay.
David, take it easy.
Whoa! Whoa!
All right. We are off and running. Great to have Kelly Hrudey on the show. Awesome appearance from him. Danny Webster covers the Golden Knights for the Las Vegas Review-Journal. He's going to be on the show. Sportsnet anchor Ken Reid, all-around entertaining and good guy. We'll check in. We got a bunch of our regular segments coming up, including crunching the numbers for Gallo LOP. Mr. Milne found a great stat about captains scoring overtime winners. He will expand
There was so
on
much
that.
history made over the weekend.
Yeah, remarkable.
And even in round one, we just got to dive into it a bit.
All right, here comes the Koob with the sports update.
The Elks have signed a total of 10 players, including 4 of which from this year's draft, including offensive lineman Domincio Piazza from McGill University and wide receiver Colby Herford from Redwater, Alberta. In the NHL, Toronto hosts Florida for Game 1 of the second round. That one goes just after 6, while in California, General Manager Rob Blake and the Kings have agreed to mutually part ways, with Blake spending the last 8 seasons as the team's general manager. Elsewhere, Marc-Andre Fleury and Sidney Crosby will reunite to play on Team Canada at the upcoming World Championships. Basketball has 2 conference semifinal game ones. The Thunder clashed with the Nuggets, while the Knicks and Celtics open up the night at 5 o'clock. Out east, the Jays have made a couple moves, signing right-handed pitcher Spencer Turnbull to a 1-year deal, while placing pitchers Max Scherzer and Eric Swanson on the 60-day injured list, keeping them unavailable until the end of May. Toronto gets back in action tomorrow with 10 games around the league today. This sports update is brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc. Locally owned and operated, serving Leduc and surrounding area since '93. They have doors, flooring, baseboards, and of course, plywood. Go see the knowledgeable staff today at Windsor Plywood Leduc. The boys continue the show once we get back from break. I'm Zachary Kubusch, and you're up to date.
2 guys and a goalie.
Saw this going around on social media platforms, like 100 men versus 1 gorilla. So somebody's asking 100 Casses versus 1 gorilla. Who wins?
Version of me now or version of me in shape and strong? But go for the eyes. Try to hit him in the gonads. Maybe slow him down a little bit.
I like your idea of kicking a gorilla in the nuts.
2 guys and a goalie, presented by GS Construction. Tuesday and Thursday afternoons at noon, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Spin to win Fridays at The Banquet. Every Friday, spin the wheel for a chance to win big and save on your bill. It's that easy. Spin, win, and save. Don't miss out. Details at thebanquetbar.com. The Banquet. Get real. Play hard.
GCL Diesel has been serving oil country since 1972. From diesel cars to SUVs to pickups. From farm tractors to school buses to a big rig. From diesel generators to forklifts, GCL can test, troubleshoot, and repair all diesel fuel system components. Whether it's injectors, pumps, turbos, filters, or additive, GCL has the parts you need to keep your diesel running the way it should. For genuine diesel parts at wholesale prices, visit GCL Diesel in the West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel. Diesel understood.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Time out, Edmonton. The new Play Alberta app has arrived, and it's here to make your gambling experiences more fun, exciting, and secure. Enjoy the convenience of hundreds of casino games, betting live on your favorite sports teams, and access to lotteries all in one place, anywhere in Alberta. Enter code YEG50 to receive a $50 free bet when you make a $5 minimum deposit. That's a $50 free bet for new and existing users using code YEG50. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
Downsizing, upsizing, or staging your home to sell? Sentinel Storage is Edmonton's team for affordable storage solutions. Try 4 weeks free. Details at sentinelstorage.ca.
Sentinel Storage, proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
Yeah, NHL draft lotteries today. Oilers fans no longer care about that as much as they used to. Oh, about 10 years ago. Yeah. The second round starts tonight, Florida-Montreal. So that's going to, not Florida-Montreal, Florida-Toronto. Well, I just disrespected the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Oh, well.
Will anybody ever forgive me?
I think you're forgiven already.
Florida and Toronto in the second round. We're going to have our picks. Note from the University of Alberta, Barnaby Craddock has resigned as head coach of the Golden Bears basketball team. He is going to coach Simon Fraser, which is obviously a Canadian school that plays in NCAA Division II. I wonder if Golden Bear great Jordan Baker might be a candidate to take over as the Golden Bears head coach.
I mean, he's head coach of the Stingers right now. He's very active in the basketball community in Edmonton. So
First name comes to mind.
I don't see how they can't at least approach him for it. Right?
Yes.
I don't know who else would be able to fill that role.
Well, it would be an appealing job. It would be an appealing job to either coach. I mean, Barnaby was at Brandon and then came here, right? But
yeah, I mean, it's a big school. It's a competitive, like a school that's usually competing.
Yeah.
And obviously, where he played, where his mother coached. I mean, they have a lot of roots at this school, so be a little bit of a homecoming. Should that happen. Now, they're going to go through the process.
Oh, for sure.
And I don't... okay, I just will say it. Fine. Screw it. The process of the U of A doing this is silly, in my opinion. Hire the right person. If Jordan Baker says to you, hey, yeah, I'll do it, then there is no process. You don't need a process. You've got the right candidate. Just say, yes, okay, good, process over.
Right.
But unfortunately now, it was like the hiring of the new head coach for the football team. A process happened there, and it was a debacle. From people involved in the process that I've heard that from.
Are you saying they hired the wrong guy?
To be determined, but the process
itself okay,
was a bit of a gong show.
All right.
So I'm just saying,
sometimes there's a lot of red tape.
That doesn't have to be
level.
I know, yes, and that's a university problem. That's not... it doesn't have to be that way. They've made it that way.
All right. So anyway, that's another storyline to keep an eye on here locally in the summer months here. Before we dive into crunching the numbers, our off-topic topic for William Huff, what summary thing did you do for the first time this weekend?
Some really good submissions. Smith, TM14, our local 49ers fan, he fired up his grill. Fantastic. Good smell. McLovin, does hitting up the farmer's market count?
Yes.
Sure.
Which one?
Yeah, which one? Jason in Leduc took his 9-year-old to the pickleball court. Bones says, for the first time this summer, I drank, you know those little peel-off single-serve shooters?
Oh,
you know, where you peel the lid off and sometimes they're mixed?
They're always right by the till at the liquor store?
Yeah, he drank that. That's a sure sign
That's quite a milestone.
Andrea from Calgary, they had a drink on the beach at Ghost Lake, followed by some beach volleyball.
Oh, neat.
If that doesn't scream summer, I don't know what
Straight
does.
out of Top Gun.
And Rusty Shackelford put up the electric fencer out in his yard for some of the pens to keep his livestock in check.
Oh, good.
I assume that's why he put him up. He didn't say that. I'm just assuming.
Maybe he's keeping himself in check.
Maybe he's keeping,
Time to fence myself in, Myrtle.
Can't trust me anymore. Summer's here.
Jablonski, don't touch the fence. It's electrified. All right, 780-218-9999 is how you text the River Cree Resort Casino inbox.
That was the Lansdowne Farmers Market in Ottawa.
Oh, wow. Lansdowne Park?
Must be.
Home of the Rough Riders.
And this one came in from an unnamed source. Smoked some ribs.
Oh, good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Keep them coming.
That's awesome. Yeah, of course, you can text 780-218-9999 River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. Post in the nasty chat as well. And if you are there on YouTube, keep clicking that thumbs up, climbing towards 100 already. But let's don't delay getting there and click. Let's for the very first milestone, which we get to all the time now, is 100. But I'll set that as the first one. Let's get there in the next 5 or 10 minutes, and then we can keep building toward our word of the day. From words to numbers, time to crunch the numbers for Gallo LLP, chartered professional accountants, where they go beyond the numbers to ensure the continued success of your business. Reach out to Preet or John at Gallo LLP if you would like to discuss further how they can crunch your numbers and help your business grow. Visit their website, gallollp.ca, and see how Gallo LLP can help your business grow. My number, 180, the average heart rate of a Winnipeg Jets fan late in the third period.
Okay, let's talk about that game just a bit, because as it's an overtime game, but is there something not just so much extra special? Not only the overtime game, the game 7, the theatrics in overtime. There was 2 breakaway saves, one made by each goalie, and then you have the Hellebuck versus Binnington all over again, which happened in the Four Nations face-off. I mean, there were so many things. I can't imagine if you were a Winnipeg Jets fan, how the emotional roller coaster you would have been on. Like going from this is over with 4 seconds left,
right,
to ultimately winning the game. I mean, that's it. That's why you watch sports. And as people that have no connection to Winnipeg or no connection to St. Louis, obviously, but that just, you couldn't turn it off. I mean, we have a basketball house, right? So there was a playoff basketball game on. We had to turn that off to go to this because you couldn't. Well,
yeah.
I had both. I had one on my laptop, one on the TV. We had to switch because this was too good. You can't not watch that.
Well, and just everything surrounding that series, because, and I said this before the series, and we're going to go over our picks. I said I picked St. Louis because I said it's all wrong for the Jets at this point. This is a bad break for the Jets, that they have to get a team of that caliber in the first round. And obviously, I mean, they literally pushed the Jets to the limit before Winnipeg won it. But the caliber of the opponents in that series, and they referenced this on the broadcast last night, the first series to start, the last series to end. Don't remember, that Winnipeg St. Louis series started 2 days before the Oilers and Kings.
That's right.
And if the Oilers and Kings would have played Game 7, it would have been Saturday, because they had the extra day. So just the fact that it was dragged out schedule-wise, and that it's the last game, feature game, still on a weekend, a Sunday evening, but still on a weekend, and starting early enough where no one's complaining about the start time. I mean, even if you're in the Eastern time zone or even the Maritimes, it still would have been realistic to watch.
It was doable
to watch as much as you could have, or maybe the entire overtime. And then, of course, let's face it, unprecedented drama of the tying goal. That has never happened before.
Well, no. I mean, that was the latest tying goal in Game 7 history. In NHL, in Game 7 history in the NHL, that was the latest scoring goal at 59-57. It was tied for second for the latest goal in postseason history.
Jeez.
Because Matt Cook did it 1 second later in 2003. Because
they changed the time to 2.2 or something like that. So officially it's at 1957 of the third. Yeah.
Well, yeah. And Matt Cook did it at 1958 in 2003. So yeah, that was awesome. I mean, what about Mikko Rantanen? I mean, that's a bad look. Like I watched a lot of the post-game interviews, and obviously Nathan McKinnon is, the person that's going to bear the brunt of a lot of questions. And just the look of dejection and almost sadness.
Right.
That, that was a player that was on their team that just torched them for 3 goals in the third period. That's the only third period hat trick in a Game 7 as well for Mikko Rantanen.
Yeah.
Just wild, though. I don't know. I guess you say, I don't think that'll ever happen again, but it probably will.
Well, a side note here, and maybe I'll talk about this more later or as the playoffs go on, because I know you got other stuff you want to get to, and we got to get to the Oil Understood as well. I've made this point a few times this year, and I just think we're continuing to see the blossoming of an offensive era in hockey. And I'm not talking about that, games are going to start being 9-7, but just that they're never over. That a 2-goal lead late in the third period, you do not turn your TV off. Or do you not be like, okay, I'll leave it on, but I got to get making supper or get the dog ready to go out or get the kids ready for bed. Look with the Oilers-Kings series, all the drama there, and then the comebacks in these 2 Game 7s, then the Jets doing it obviously in the final 2 minutes. And we talked to Kelly that we just have, and he said the Sportsnet crew is going to look it up, that it just feels as if there are more 6-on-5 goals. And coaches pulling the goaltender earlier, and just all the good offensive players who can keep plays alive and make what appear to be low percentage plays, but still make them count.
I wonder if you could look into that too, Reid, because this pulling your goaltender, especially if you're down by 2, has started happening sooner and sooner, has it not?
Sure. Oh, absolutely.
So that would obviously lead to us feeling and believing like there's more goals that are scored 6v5.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, that's been happening, in the last 3-4 years?
Well, I mean, I think Wass started doing it earlier down a goal. Like he was getting up more to 2.5 minutes as opposed to the 60 to 90 seconds. I mean, Hiller did it, almost 4 minutes down a goal in Game 5 against the Oilers. But I think it's, I know, and like Rob and I would always get questions after, well, why would you pull him that early? Why, especially if it's a low scoring game? It's like, well, you've gone 56 minutes and you're being shut out or you have 1 goal. So clearly you're not scoring a lot at even strength tonight. So you might as well keep trying it. But I think it just adds more excitement to hockey. And then plus that teams can actually score. I mean, what have we been talking about all the first round? Late game execution. I mean, it's like a team that you and I talk about football a lot. It's okay. A team's played a great game and they're up a touchdown with 2 minutes left. Maybe they've been the better team, but can they stop the star quarterback from driving the field and tying it and then winning it overtime?
Yeah.
So I think this just allows more opportunities for the Stars to really shine through as well with their offensive ability.
Only 2 teams in NHL history have recorded 4 straight wins after falling down 0-2 in a best-of-7 series.
Really?
One was the Oilers that just happened.
Okay, so
who's the other one?
It's only happened 4 times?
Twice.
Sorry, say that again?
The Oilers are the second team in NHL history to record 4 straight after trailing 2-0 in a best-of-7 series.
Well, I think Carolina did it to Montreal once.
Vegas.
No, there's been other teams that have won in 6
after
being down 2-0.
Let me see.
For sure there has been. Okay, whatever. We can check that one.
I'll check it in the break.
We'll check it in the break.
This one you liked, Reid. Adam Lowry is the second team captain in NHL history to score an overtime game winner in Game 7. Well,
this is a good one. Okay, why don't you ask this and see who knows it?
Sure.
There's no prize for this. This is fun trivia.
But most people, I won't say most people. Do you think most people would have watched this player play? They certainly, everybody would know
for now.
Okay, most people watch this. But there's one other player in NHL history who has scored an overtime goal, game-winning goal, obviously, in Game 7. Adam Lowry's one. Who's the other?
This is a great question. Once you gave, a team captain.
Team captain.
Once you gave me the year, I got it immediately.
So did Dustin.
That's a good point. And we said almost the exact same thing.
You almost had the same reaction.
Okay, so for fun, who's the only other team captain to score a Game 7 overtime? Because there have now been 50 Game 7 overtimes. Exactly a quarter of the Game 7s have gone to overtime. All right. Well, somebody got it already.
I see that.
It's Steve Yzerman.
Yes. Well, I thought Mike, the Michigan fan, would be in there first because that's his team.
He just got it. 1996 over John Casey's shoulder. And that's exactly what Dusty and I said.
Both you said the exact same thing.
I was trying to guess, I was trying to think, because I remember there was that one series, Vancouver beat Calgary in overtime, but Bure got the winner and he wasn't it. And then I'm trying to think. I was like, no, I don't think an Oiler ever did it. That's a great trivia question. Take that one to your colleagues this afternoon.
Yes.
Okay, 780-218-9999 is the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. Keep clicking away at that thumbs up on YouTube. Let's quickly get to 100 here, everybody, and then we can keep building from there. We'll have clips from Knobloch, Kane, and Draisaitl in the next section here. Here comes the Koob.
NHL playoff action has Toronto and Florida clashing in the postseason for the second time ever. The Leafs falling in 5 games during their last matchup back in 2023. And the NHL draft lottery goes tonight at 5 o'clock. San Jose has the best odds for winning first overall, with the Blackhawks and Predators having the second and third best odds, respectively. And from LA, the Kings and general manager Rob Blake have mutually agreed to part ways after Blake served as the team's vice president and general manager for the past 8 seasons. Down south, the Ravens have released kicker Justin Tucker. He spent the last 13 seasons in Baltimore. In the CFL, the Elks have signed 10 players, having 3 Alberta players getting a deal, with running back Jonathan Rosary and Calgary's Romeo Nash, defensive back from the Golden Bears, being given contracts. On the court, there's 2 game ones. OKC plays Denver, while the Knicks and Celtics go head-to-head. Out east, Max Scherzer and Eric Swanson of the Jays both hit the 60-day injured list, having 10 games on tap around the MLB. This sports update is brought to you by Advantage Sports Medicine and Physiotherapy. Connor McDavid's got a team of specialists, and you're stuck with a bag of peas. Get the same locker room approach that's trusted by the best in the game at Advantage Sports Medicine. Call 780-460-9977 or visit their website at advantagesportmed.ca to book an appointment today. The Reid Wilkins Show rolls on once we get back.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Gallo LLP is an Alberta-based accounting firm with expert chartered professional accountants in both our Edmonton and Sherwood Park accounting firms. Our experienced and innovative accountants provide financial advice that saves our clients money. Simply put, we help our clients protect their assets and grow their businesses. At Gallo LLP, they go beyond the numbers to ensure the continued success of your business. Reach out to Preet or John to discuss how they can help your business grow. Visit gallollp.ca today and see how they can help you take your business to the next level.
Do you have pets? Horses, chickens? Did the place you used to get your feed recently close down? Have no fear. Clover Bar Feeds is here. Whether it's dogs, cats, horses, or chickens, Clover Bar Feeds has you covered. Offering a large variety of food and feed, you can trust the experts at Clover Bar Feeds. They've been family owned and operated for over 60 years. This means you can expect nothing less than top-notch service and selection. Come visit them at 200 Portage Close in Sherwood Park or visit them online at cloverbarfeeds.com.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
Must you click? Click. Thumb. Must you click? Thumb, thumb, thumb.
All right, the Thumb Click remix is put together by Zach Kubusch to inspire you to click that thumbs up button on YouTube. I'm a little surprised we're not at 100 already, Jay. I mean, I love all our listeners. I love all the nasties. There's plenty of reason to click that thumbs up.
All right, let's get there before.
I mean, we've had a lot of 200 click thumbs, 200 click shows here during the playoffs already.
Yeah, I'd like to see
get
that
to 100
going.
quickly should be a given at this point. I hate to sound a little cocky, but it's the time of year where people are excited and they should be getting in there and clicking, sharing the show with other people, saying, "Hey, check these guys out. They're talking Oilers. They're talking Stanley Cup playoffs. They're talking everything that you care about, all the big stories that's going on. They're having great guests like Kelly Hrudey on. He was already on today. Like Ken Reid on. We're going to have Oilers clips, all the latest comments from practice today, all that kind of stuff. So there are a lot of reasons to click. So I think you got to get it in there and do it. I don't know what you're waiting for. You're waiting for Jay and I to get more handsome. It's not something you should be waiting for.
Can't happen. We're as handsomest, the handsomest men around, right, Reid?
And we got a great off-topic topic today.
Yes,
you're right. First of all,
handsome
as you were with almost all your picks. The off-topic topic for William Huff: what summary thing did you do for the first time this weekend? We should say this. The response to this, maybe this is why people aren't clicking.
Okay,
because they're writing in their responses.
Maybe
because this has exceeded what we thought we'd get for this.
Well, it's great, and I'm sure many people sharing what Redbeard had happen. First summer thing I did was get a sunburn on my head.
Nice.
How many sunburns happened this weekend? Norman at Combine says, boys, for the first time this season, got a phone call at 4 a.m. from Tracy. That's his wife. The fifth slide, and I'm thinking he means on his whether it's a motorhome or his tow behind unit. The fifth slide was leaking. You know when the slides go out and in on RVs, so that's leaking. That's a pain in the butt. Dwayne from the Tway. I like this one. I had my first Slurpee. A delicious orange crush.
That's a nice milestone.
That was nice.
That's nice.
It was deserved after doing a few hours of maintenance on our ball diamonds. Well done. Michelle took her dogs to the park. And yes, I did misspeak on that. The Oilers are the second team in NHL history to record 4 straight comeback wins.
Okay.
After trailing 2-0 in a best of 7 series.
So you're down 2-0 in the series, and then you trail at some point in all
the
4 of the games
you win. Yeah.
You win.
And only one other team has done that, and that's the Vegas Golden Knights.
That was Vegas against who again?
It was just recent here.
Okay. So that's pretty incredible.
I think it would have been the San Jose Sharks.
Vegas, San Jose. Okay.
No, Vegas. It was for 2021 round 2 versus Colorado.
Okay.
Vegas did it.
Played in Edmonton. No, wait. No, that wouldn't have been.
No,
2020 was
2020.
In
Yeah.
2021 was back.
That always
gets
gets me too when you got to go the year next or the year prior.
Right. 2020 was the bubble tournament in Toronto and Edmonton. 2021 was the playing within the divisions all year long, with varying degrees of fans depending on what part of Canada or the States you were in. Anyway, yeah, good stuff. So remarkable what the Oilers were able to do in the first round. Round 2 against Vegas coming up. Taking us into the Oil Understood for GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around. From turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors, they are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years, now a partner of Edmonton Sports Talk and the Reid Wilkins Show. GCL Diesel. Diesel. Understood. Before we get to some audio from today's practice, my cousin sent me this audio. So here's the situation. My cousin sings in a choir, okay? I hope I'm saying this right. Capella Kyrie. It's a Ukrainian choir. And they had a practice last week. I don't remember the evening. It was either on Tuesday or Thursday during an Oilers-Kings game. And they were all sort of lamenting, well, we got to keep practicing, but man, oh man, we're missing the game. So they decided to do this for their warm-up.
Let's go!
Clearly it didn't hurt because whether it was game 5 or 6, the Oilers won.
Now all they needed after that is, can I get a win ya?
Yeah, exactly.
Can you imagine?
Oh.
That is beautiful.
Yeah, well, they're good.
I mean, is that what we got to incorporate that somehow? We got to do something with
Yeah,
this.
maybe we could mix that in with some other stuff.
Can we do a Let's Go? What was the name of the choir?
Capella Kyrie, but I'm not sure if I pronounced
Kyrie.
And there may have been some other choirs that are working with them as well, but
Box Pounder says, play this at my funeral.
Yeah.
it would fit. But maybe we could do a Capella Kyrie remix.
Yeah, or something like that.
Hey, Koob, you feeling randy?
I could do it. Got to get them to do the click, click, click.
But I love that, right? I mean, that's what it's like during playoff times. Everybody's invested. Everybody's thinking about it. Even if you're tied up during one of the games. Was there not I just saw it quickly. I'm bad for seeing stuff online and then getting distracted and then forgetting to go back and get the context of it. But I believe it was like a beer league game and the Jets scored and like the players and the ref and the opponents started celebrating together.
Oh, really?
Yeah, something like that. So what does this say? Can you read that handle for me in the net? I can't see it.
Splitty Rooney?
Splitty Rooney says, this is a good omen. Angels in heaven are on the Oilers' side. Well, better have the Angels on your side than the Zebras. Or do you want both?
Yeah, you want both. I volunteered to help Trev move on Thursday, but
In the evening?
before the schedule came out. So the first thing I did this morning when I came in was went right to him, and he was looking at me with the same eyes, and we both said at the same time, we got to move this. So we're now moving him on Wednesday evening.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so you are helping him to move.
Yeah. He didn't ask. Well, he asked me if I had a trailer he could borrow. And I still have our furniture moving van. So I'm like,
nice.
I have one better, Trev. So I said, what do you, let me just help you. Because I've done it. I've moved stuff.
Who else is helping from
Let me just help you.
Because
I don't know.
I have not been asked.
Well, I'll help. I'll volunteer.
You have one eye.
Hold on.
You have one eye.
I physically have two eyes.
Wow.
One is working much better than the other.
I'm sorry, Reid, but I don't know. I'd feel bad if you trip down a stair or missed a step.
You know what's funny is, like, it's when I the day after I had the surgery, I went and saw the surgeon, and he said, you might. I said, like, my left eye is very blurry. He's like, oh yeah, it's going to be blurry for a while. You've had surgery. It's like if you had knee surgery, your knee would be sore. And plus there's the gas bubble in there.
Yes.
So my left eye has this green tinge to it as well. And he says, you may have some issues with depth perception. And I don't know. I listen to doctors. I respect doctors. But sometimes when they say, oh, you may have, I'm kind of one of those, well, not me.
Yeah, not me.
Like, not me. That's like for like 170.
Superhero.
Or maybe a 107-year-old person.
Exactly.
But so
100 and up.
So then, of course, later that morning, I go to hang up a towel. And I totally miss the hook. And it falls on the floor. And I noticed over the weekend, occasionally, when I would grab for a glass, like I wouldn't quite.
Oh no!
I'd hit the middle of it instead of
That
wrapping my
sucks.
hand around it properly.
Well, the first day you were here, the day after your surgery, you hammered your thigh into the side of the boardroom table.
Oh yeah, I did. I did see where I was going properly.
I think I started laughing, and then I'm like, ooh.
Oh no,
I
it's
shouldn't
okay.
laugh.
It's okay. You got to make fun of yourself.
Yeah, so plans
And
change.
you and I have plenty of opportunities to do so.
Yes,
So
we
anyway, you're helping to move. Koob, don't volunteer if you don't have to.
Wow,
You're
he says
21.
he's got
Koob,
lots,
you're
guys.
gonna have a lot of opportunities in your 20s to help move. Remember when we did the moving off topic?
I think it's seeped into YouTube Trev's head as well, because he's like going home today to get stuff packed, like to finish up the boxes. He says, glue guy, by the time you get there, everything will be on the driveway ready to go. And I mean, that would be fantastic.
If he's ready, yeah.
If he's ready, that's a bonus.
Because we
for
did
YGT.
the moving faux pas too, where if you're not packed for your friends coming.
He listens to the show, so he probably was, he knows. The bar has been set.
And Trev knows we ain't the type of fellas you get on the wrong side of. You know what I mean?
Not us handsomest dudes.
Hey, Trev, why don't you try on these cement shoes after we're done helping you move?
We do have to drive across the North Saskatchewan
we got
to
a
get
date
to
at
his
the
new
North
house.
Sask.
Yeah.
Down by the pier. What accent is that? Alberta gangster, apparently. Okay. Oilers practice today. Look, there's all this about the goaltending, and we're going to talk about Knobloch and some of his tactics a little bit later on. Pickard's starting tomorrow. He didn't announce it. Pickard's starting tomorrow. I would just say that. Here is Chris Knobloch with a look at the Vegas Golden Knights.
One, I think their defense make it hard to get to the net, how big they are. But as big as they are and physical as they are, they still have a lot of offensive ability. Usually you think of big, strong defensemen being stay-at-home guys that don't produce much offensive in the play. But I don't think that's the case with them at all. I think all six of them provide some offense, but make it hard to get, for the opposition, hard to get to the net, just with their size and strength. With their systems, LA was a man-on-man. LA is completely different than that. But I think the biggest thing is just how dangerous they are off the rush as a group. They scored more goals off the rush than any team in the NHL during the regular season. So that's going to be really important that we are managing pucks and we have a good back check to limit those opportunities.
Well, and obviously some of the turnovers and maybe a lack of back checking were problems that plagued the Oilers at times during the season when they weren't playing well. So there's item number one, perhaps, on your worry list going into this series. Now, he was talking about the Vegas defense as well. They're going to play all their guys. They're not going to be like a sixth guy like LA had, where you're like, who is it again?
Yeah.
He plays 2 minutes. Didn't that Muvarare guy not even
36
the
seconds.
Third period of that one game or
36 seconds of the last half of one of the games.
Right.
Yeah.
So they're not going to be
that
like
ain't
that.
happening.
They're not going to be like that. They're big. They're talented, but maybe a game changer for all this for the Oilers to counteract that. Two guys they didn't have basically at all in the regular season, except for 7 minutes, was the Oilers have Evander Kane and the Oilers have Trent Frederick, Leon Draisaitl on those two guys.
This time of year makes a big difference. I think you can get by in the regular season probably with a little bit more skill, but I think having those guys when it gets heavier, I think especially against a team like Vegas that are big and heavy, right? They're going to lean on you, and having guys like that in your lineup and knowing how to play in these situations obviously helps.
Yeah, so we saw Kane. And I said this to Tom after the game on Thursday. In the 4 games the Oilers won, maybe the most consistent and best all-around Oiler. I mean, I know he didn't get the most points, but noticeable. I thought Frederick...
I think Frederick improved.
Frederick maybe got better every game.
I think so.
And then got a huge goal.
Yes.
Turned out to be the game winner, I guess. Right?
Yes, it did.
So those two guys, and on different lines, maybe gives the Oilers a little extra jam to counteract what the Golden Knights are doing.
Well, like Kelly spoke out right off the top, is the depth of LA in their forward group and obviously their defensive group. But the Oilers might be able to answer that as well with this newfound depth that they've been looking for all season, but maybe they just didn't have the right pieces.
We're going to get a report on the Vegas Golden Knights from Danny Webster coming up in about 4 or 5 minutes. Jay and I are in the Banquet Studio every Monday. Today's a Monday, by the way, Jay. Every Monday, bowl for just $2 all day at the Banquet Bar. Walk in, grab your friends, and start your week with some fun. Get real, play hard. The Banquet Studio here on the Reid Wilkins Show with Jason Milne. We got to call a quick timeout. 2 hours still to go on this program. Edmonton Sports Talk, presented by Play Alberta.
The Lock Shop.
Let's bring in Huss today, who, I mean, buddy, did you even breathe for like an hour and a half?
Not really. I am still legitimately in a state of shock. Like, there is an element of disbelief. I tweeted last night, I'm not really going to believe this until I wake up tomorrow, check my phone, and see a Winnipeg-Dallas game scheduled for Wednesday night, and guess what? It's there. That was the craziest sporting experience of my entire life.
The Lock Shop, weekday mornings at 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Your home for great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino.
My mother used to let us not lock the doors. She's like, if you're locking the doors inside of the house, it means you're doing something you shouldn't be doing. Yeah, that's why we lock the doors.
Host of the Bad Friends and Whiskey Ginger podcast, don't miss Andrew Santino, Freeze Peach, live at the River Cree May 22nd.
Michael, what are you doing? We have locks on the outside of the house to keep criminals from coming inside. There's no criminals inside of this house. Yes, there are, Karen.
Get your tickets at rivercreeresort.com. Excitement, bet on it.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
Play more tables and games. Play more tables and games. Make the most of your bad game. Oh, you want to, you need to, you know just what you gotta do. It's time to add some fun to your life. Make the most of your bad game. Play more tables and games. PlayMoreGames.ca.
Brad Marchand and the Panthers take on the Leafs in round 2 action. Puck drop goes just after 6. And San Jose has the top odds to win the draft lottery tonight. Chicago, Nashville, Philly, and Boston follow up with the next best odds at first, descending in that order. Rob Blake's time is up as LA's general manager, with Blake and the Kings agreeing to mutually parting ways. And 10 players have been signed by the Elks, including 3 players from Alberta, with Edmonton-born wide receiver Colby Herford and Calgary defensive back Romeo Nash getting deals. In the NBA, Denver meets OKC, and the Knicks battle the Celtics to start the East and West Conference semifinal matchups. New York and Boston tip off at 5. And out east, Toronto has placed both Eric Swanson and Max Scherzer on the 60-day injured list, with both players unavailable until at least the end of the month. Today's schedule has 10 games, with the Guardians challenging the Nationals. I'm Zachary Kubusch. That was your sports update. The second hour of the Reid Wilkins Show starts right now.
All right, appreciate you tuning in this afternoon. Hope you had a great weekend. Round 2 of the Stanley Cup playoffs starts tonight with the Panthers taking on the Maple Leafs. The draft lottery is coming up as well. Oilers tomorrow visiting the Vegas Golden Knights. It's a 7:30 game. 7:30. So hopefully, well, they've announced the start times for the first 4 games, 7:30, 7:37, and 7:30. So hopefully they're all at those times are earlier. We don't have any 8 or 8:30s through the first round here. So tomorrow, of course, live programming on EST starting at 6 a.m. with the Nielsen Show. And then after this show tomorrow, the stream will continue with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas counting you down to face off. And then they'll be on after the game as well with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream postgame show. Looking forward to seeing these two teams go head-to-head. So many storylines to discuss, some of them, maybe more to fill you in on what's going on with the Vegas Golden Knights. We welcome back to the Reid Wilkins Show from the Las Vegas Review-Journal. He covers the Golden Knights It is Danny Webster checking in. Danny, it's Reid and Jay. How are you doing, buddy?
Doing good, guys. How we doing?
Well, we're doing very well. It's nice to see you as here these teams are playing for the second time in 3 seasons. Before we sort of look ahead and look at some of the trends here for the Golden Knights, let's just maybe fire everybody a quick recap or what ultimately turned the tide for the Golden Knights' first-round series victory over the Minnesota Wild.
Yeah, you look at it from a broader lens there. Golden Knights trailing 2-1 in the series against Minnesota. Minnesota's top line with Kaprizov and Boldy really took over. They were establishing dominance over the Golden Knights' top line. Turnovers, puck management, uncharacteristic things that allowed the Golden Knights to trail going into Game 4 in a game that they really needed to win. And suddenly a couple changes in the lineup, a couple of changes in the forward group, a couple changes on the D pairings, and the Golden Knights find a way to win Game 4 in overtime on a fortuitous bounce in front on Ivan Barbashev's goal. They go into Game 5, and again, another game they needed to win. And suddenly the narrative shifts a little bit there with Marc-Andre Fleury entering the third period, and suddenly it's like, do not tell Golden Knights fans that Marc-Andre Fleury is about to put them down 3-2 in his final season. But video review led to an offsides reversal on a Ryan Hartman goal late in the third period. Brett Howden scores the winner in overtime to take a 3-2 lead, and the Golden Knights, with a loaded top line of Jack Eichel, Mark Stone, and William Karlsson, they shut down Kirill Kaprizov. They shut down Matt Boldy in Game 6. And they go on to win Game 6, 3-2. And here we are, setting up for what I anticipate to be, if not the best, one of the top 2 second-round series that we're going to get here.
All right. I want to dive into the special teams with you. The Oilers were -5 on special teams after the first 2 games against L.A., and then, got some very key power play goals and very key penalty kills along the way. Vegas's power play, basically 28%. I'll round off in both the regular season and in the first round series. Tell us a little bit about their power play. What makes it click? And I'll ask you this because I don't know if you noticed this, Danny. The Oilers pretty much only use 1 power play unit. Does Vegas have 2 units that are both potent?
No, they've gone to 1 unit. And surprisingly enough, this is the best power play unit in team history. This has been a franchise that has fluttered around a power play between 18 and 19%, mostly around mid-table for the entirety of their existence. This year, they kind of changed things up. They obviously, the addition of Tomas Hertl from last season going into this season, I think, was a huge boost. He led the Golden Knights with 14 power play goals. They pretty much just run with 1 unit. They rely on Jack Eichel at the elbow. He kind of surveys everything. Mark Stone below the goal line, Tomas Hertl in the bumper. And depending on who's available in the lineup right now, it would be Victor Olofsson, but usually it's him or Pavel Dorofeyev setting up the one-timer at the right circle. And then Shea Theodore, running the quarterback duties over the blue line. And it's a very simple but effective power play because it's one of those situations where Eichel gets the puck, he'll normally fire it to Stone, and then Stone has either 1 or 2 options. He's going to try the cross crease to whoever's got the one-timer, or he's got Tomas Hertl waiting in the bumper. And it seems like no matter who tries to stop that unit, they have always found success. And that's been one of the reasons why the Golden Knights have been able to be so good offensively this year, is because their power play has kind of added to those deficiencies that going into this year, there were a lot of questions, a lot of scoring questions based on everyone who left after last year, including Jonathan Marchessault. So who was going to step up and fill that void? And the one way they were able to do that was have a top 2 power play in the league. And it's primarily a 1-unit group. If it goes to a second unit, you're going to see Eichel, you're going to see Stone, and maybe a couple of substitutions out there. But those 2 especially, when they're on the man advantage, they run that power play, and they are the ones that make that machine go.
Danny Webster joining us here on the Reid Wilkins Show. Danny, you just mentioned Pavel Dorofeyev, who was the leading scorer for the Knights in the regular season, still listed as day-to-day. What is the latest on Dorofeyev, and what options does he provide the Golden Knights when he is inserted into the lineup?
Yeah, still day to day. Kelly McCrimmon spoke with us this morning. Didn't really provide much of an update. And even when you go back and look at Game 6 or Game 5, because technically that's when he got hurt against Minnesota, there wasn't really anything that popped off the pages that pointed to how he suffered the injury. And so that gives you a little bit of concern that maybe it was a non-contact thing. Maybe it gives you a little bit of pause, and maybe it's a little bit more severe than what we initially thought. But right now, still day-to-day. His status for Game 1 tomorrow, I would say, is up in the air, considering he has not practiced in the last couple of days. And when you talk about Dorofeyev, he's definitely been the biggest surprise of this season because he's going into his first NHL season. When he was called up a couple of years ago and he got his sporadic time last year, he showed flashes, and he provided a lot of areas of his game that Bruce Cassidy liked. He liked that he always went to the net. He always liked that he was improving along the walls, and he was always someone who was willing to do what he could to get into the lineup. But the one thing that we always knew about Pavel Dorofeyev when he was drafted by the Golden Knights a few years ago, we knew he had a great shot. We knew he had playmaking abilities. It was just who was going to be able to mold that all together, and Bruce Cassidy has found the formula that's worked. He's obviously got a great shot. His one-timer is very effective. But you're starting to see a little bit more of the savviness, the smarts that come with being a young player in this league. And the fact that he's added more elements to his game beyond just the shot. He's a little bit smarter when it comes to winning puck battles. His hockey IQ for a 24-year-old, I think it helps having a center like Tomas Hertl on his line. But there's also just that savviness of knowing when to make the right play. And this was his first real taste of playoff hockey. And there were definitely some ups and downs along the way, but I felt like a lot of the Golden Knights, as the series went on before he got hurt, he started to play a lot better. So the Golden Knights obviously could use him. But the good news is from their standpoint with their depth, they always feel if one person goes out, they have another one that can fill right in, and right now that would be Victor Olofsson filling out that top power play unit. And he was playing some of his best hockey of the season late in the year when he was lined up with Carlson and Smith.
Right on. Okay. Danny, love having you on the show. Always appreciate your perspective. I know you're probably pretty busy, so thanks for giving us a few minutes here on Edmonton Sport. Are you coming to Edmonton for games 3 and 4 or TBD?
I will be there.
Okay, we'll get to meet you in person in the press box. Thanks so much for doing this. We'll see you soon.
All right. Thanks, guys, for having me.
Danny Webster with a bit of perspective there on the Golden Knights, covers the team for the Las Vegas Review-Journal. Yeah, good question, Jay, about Dorofeyev. But look, so just going off daily face-off, here's what they have for the lines. Eichel between Carlson and Stone, Hertl between Saad and Kolasar, Waugh with Barbashev and Smith. I've always loved Barbashev as a player. Brett Howden with Olofsson and Pearson, still a pretty good fourth line. So we talked a lot about the Kings being good 1 through 9, but then 10, 11, 12 forwards, they didn't play very much. But here's the biggest thing for me. McNabb, Theodore, Haig, Pietrangelo, Hanifin, Whitecloud on defense. Now, according to Daily Faceoff, Hanifin and Whitecloud's the third pairing.
Wow.
That's pretty, however they use them. So this is a very deep team, an experienced team for the most part. And again, a team with some size. And as you know what I always call them, a team that can play physical and can walk the line and push you around a little bit, or at least try to put you around. And then Aiden Hill and net, who's won a Stanley Cup as a goaltender. So this will be, it should be a tougher matchup. As the playoffs go on, it should be tougher. But the power play, he kind of described how it works. One unit, very good unit. That's going to be interesting for me. We've seen the Oilers penalty kill play really well in the postseason, all of last year's playoffs. And then I thought quite good. I wouldn't say excellent, but I would say very good in games 3 through 6 against the Kings.
Well, and everything was better in games 3 through 6, right? So that's a byproduct of that as well. But I just like the history of this matchup. I like the fact that Pietrangelo tried to decapitate Leon Draisaitl last year. I like that there's that history. I mean, you look at the games they played in the regular season. Look at how physical those games were. And more so, it favored the Oilers, who were leading the physical tone. I think that's a good sign. And they didn't even have the likes of Kane and Frederick, who, as we heard from earlier, those are guys you're going to lean on in this series to deliver that. And I mean, the Oilers are a faster team, believe it or not, than Vegas. I mean, that to me is going to put a lot of pressure on this defense. But like you said, you have Whitecloud and Hanifin as your third pairing. Hanifin is the Adrian Kempe of the Vegas Golden Knights when it comes to playing the Oilers. He is. He always shows up and delivers against the Oilers. So, it's going to be a great matchup. And exactly what you said. Why wouldn't it be? Right? As you move on, you're going to have to beat the best teams to get to the final goal. So you might as well try and knock one off now.
All right, here's Oilers head coach Chris Knobloch asked today about the Vegas Golden Knights power play.
All season long, they had a very strong power play. They had some ups and downs, but their downs were usually when they had some injuries and their regular five weren't available. But overall, they were able to keep it pretty hot. And, what we've seen through them, through our games in the regular season and pre-scouting what they did against Minnesota or other teams, they'll be adjusting, they'll be changing things up a little bit, they'll be watching what we've done. And during the regular season, you're always changing and focusing on certain things on the power play a little bit or special teams. But when you hit the playoffs, it gets a lot more specific because you're going to see a team possibly 7 games in a row opposed to just one and then you're done. You're not going to revamp your whole power play just for one night. So I'm sure they're going to be making a lot of adjustments to their power play. But, obviously the power play runs through Eichel. A lot of the plays that he makes, you got to be very aware of what he can do. So obviously we need for a good penalty kill, you need good sticks, you need good pressure up ice, and they are going to get chances. You need your goaltender to make some big saves.
All right, and again, we expect Calvin Pickard to be the goaltender tomorrow, even though Chris Knobloch will not announce that. I think he's being a little coy about that. Leon Draisaitl was asked to compare Vegas and Los Angeles.
Well, it's certainly different systems, but I think the mindset is the same for every team at this stage of the year. Defend well, and that's how you're going to win your hockey game. So it's going to be no different.
Do they make it a little tougher to get to the net? They got some big guys that defend the front of the net pretty well.
Yeah, they got big D, really good sticks. Obviously, they really rely on their system. I think nothing that we haven't seen or we're not capable of dealing with or handling. But at this stage of the year, I think any team has something that they do really well, and obviously they had another great year.
All right, some thoughts there from Draisaitl. I'm going to say this. I have a lot of faith in the Oilers' PK. Even though it, for the most part, had a mediocre or even subpar regular season, except for a couple of bursts. Brutal start to the LA series, but I thought it got better as it went along. They had some key kills against LA in the games that they won. And I think that because the Oilers have some experienced players on the PK, I think they're going to be able to. Here's what we've seen from the Oilers' PK. They're good at forcing the puck to where they want it to go, right? Like you'll see them overplay a passing lane, so they leave the power play player with no choice but to put it to a safer area, right? And then the Oilers defend off of that, and they're very good at knowing when to go after a puck or not. Like if they are not going to win a race to the puck, they don't go. They simply don't go. They simply stay in their spot. But then when there is a chance to pressure the puck, they get right on it. They support the puck, and that allows them to clear it. I think the Oilers, maybe not in game one, but are going to be able to limit this Vegas power play. That's actually not a primary concern for me.
16th ranked PK in the first round.
Last.
Yes.
I get it.
Right?
I get it.
So what gives you such strong faith
that they've done it before?
You sound like that choir.
That they've done it before.
Right. They've went on a hot streak in the playoffs.
Yes, and I think we've seen this this is what when we talk a lot about the McDavid Draisaitl era. I guess certainly the last 3 years, they tend to get better as the series go on. So I think that the Oilers are good at adjusting. So I think that's part coaching and part having experienced, intelligent players. Okay, they're doing this. Vegas likes to do this. They've burned us on that a couple of times. It's not going to keep happening. That they'll figure it out.
Hey, I like the faith.
Well, why not have faith?
Maybe that choir is rubbing off.
Why not
you?
have faith? I'm like George Michael, except they don't look as good in blue jeans with a 5 o'clock shadow.
You'd have a good 5 o'clock shadow. You just got to trim that thing up.
Just got to trim the beard just a little bit.
Just a bit, bro.
All right, keep giving us the thumbs up on YouTube. We've soared past 100. Our next goal is to get to double word of the day territory, which is 100 and I think we can do that. Everybody's going to get in there and click right away.
Click, click, click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click? You must click. Thumb, thumb, thumb.
And then we'll try to get to 200 as well, which we've had a good streak of doing. Limericks, read at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. From Bronco Nick. Today marks the start of round 2. Oilers have one more day to stew. They're ready to play heady, vying to win 4 games to go through. Very good from Bronco Nick. We'll get to more of your limericks as we move along. It's the portion of the show that everybody is waiting for. Our round 2, guaranteed to be correct, playoff predictions. We will recap quickly as well how we did in the first round. You might want to listen to Mr. Milne's predictions. Just saying. We'll tell you why when we get back.
It's a round 2 rematch for the Panthers and the Leafs, seeing Florida take their last series against Toronto in 5 games back in 2023. Puck drop for Game 1 is just after 6. And for the Elks, 10 players have been signed ahead of a rookie camp this Sunday, having 4 Canadians receiving contracts. Manitoba's wide receiver Jackson Tuchinski and Edmonton-born running back Jonathan Rosary getting deals. And after spending the last 10 seasons in Baltimore, kicker Justin Tucker has been released by the Ravens. On the court, there's 2 games. Denver visits OKC and the Knicks battle the Celtics, both game 1s in the West and East Conference semifinal series. In baseball, Toronto's Max Scherzer and Eric Swanson have been moved to the 60-day injured list. The Jays made another move, signing right-handed pitcher Spencer Turnbull to a 1-year deal. And on tap, there's 10 games around the MLB, having the Dodgers and Marlins open up the night. This sports update is brought to you by Paramount Flooring, proudly serving Edmonton and area for over 30 years. Their West End showroom is open 7 days a week. You can also shop online at ParamountFlooring.ca. We give our second round picks once we get back from break. Here on the Reid Wilkins Show, I'm Zachary Kubusch.
Got some gently used furniture or home goods that need a new home? Find Edmonton is here to help. Every month we furnish over 100 homes to those transitioning out of homelessness, and we need your gently used furniture and home goods. Drop off at 5120 122nd Street or call for free local pickup. Just visit findedmonton.com to learn how your donations can help create a home for someone in need. Plus shop our thrift store, in-store or online, with proceeds benefit those moving out of homelessness through housing supports. Visit us at findedmonton.com. Find Edmonton, supporting our community one home at a time.
Craving a late night snack? Hit the Banquet for our new late night happy hour. Sunday to Thursday, 9 p.m. till close. Try favorites like sweet and spicy lettuce wraps or our Banquet burger and fries, all at happy hour prices. The Banquet. Get real. Play hard.
Your home for great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino.
My mother used to let us not lock the doors. She's like, if you're locking the doors inside of the house, it means you're doing something you shouldn't be doing.
Yeah,
That's why we lock the doors.
Host of the Bad Friends and Whiskey Ginger podcast, don't miss Andrew Santino, Freeze Peach, live at the River Cree May 22nd.
Michael, what are you doing? We have locks on the outside of the house to keep criminals from coming inside. There's no criminals inside of this house. Yes, there are, Karen.
Get your tickets at rivercreeresort.com. Excitement, bet on it.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
And there they go to Sentinel Storage. The snowblower and winter gear goes in. They shoot, we store.
Need extra space? Store your winter gear with Sentinel Storage and win extra space at home. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca. Proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
All right. Great to have you tuning in this afternoon. Oilers, Golden Knights tomorrow. See if the Oilers can knock them out this time. Golden Knights eliminated the Oilers a couple of years ago on the way to their Stanley Cup championship. Keep clicking that thumbs up button on YouTube. We are approaching our double word of the day at 155. Don't delay getting there and click right away. Of course, you can also text us if you want to get in touch, ask us a question, write us a limerick, whatever you want. 780-218-9999 is the afternoon inbox presented by River Cree Resort and Casino, home of the kitchen restaurant. All you can eat surf and turf for just $59.99 every Friday from 4 to 10 p.m. Our off-topic topic for William Huff: what summary thing did you do for the first time over the weekend? We've had several yard work submissions. I think my favorite one, though, was the gentleman who said he got a sunburn on his head.
Yeah. This comes in from Sea-Dog. Hey, boys, the first summer thing I did this weekend was play some beer darts with the boys. Beautiful weather for it. Do you know what beer darts
I don't know what beer darts are.
Okay. It's incredibly dangerous. And to be doing it...
Okay, do not do this at home.
No, and you're doing it while you're consuming alcoholic beverages.
Okay.
It just makes it... that much more enjoyable, Reid, and risky. So you put down a beer can in front of you. You're sitting on a lawn chair.
Okay.
You put a beer can on the grass in front of you, and you literally throw darts, like 180.
Right.
Those kind of darts. And you lob it, and you're probably, I don't know, 12, 15, 14 feet away, something like that. And you lob it, and you try hit the beer can.
That'd be incredibly... into the hole or just the can in general?
The side, the top.
Okay.
And whenever you hit it, they have to shotgun it.
Oh,
there's already a hole there. Yeah.
I see. Okay.
It's
quite an activity.
It does. It gets really intense really fast. Let's just put it
I
that
have
way.
never heard of that.
Yeah, it's silly. But if you're in the mood and you're in the right situation, why not?
And outdoors, preferably, I think.
I think you have to be.
Should probably be outdoors.
Yeah, you wouldn't unless
or
you're
near
in
a drain in your basement,
the shop.
unfinished basement.
Yeah, unless you're in your shop or something. You wouldn't want to do it in your living room.
Smitty the Welder says, that's old school beer darts, Jay.
Well, what are
Apparently
new school?
There's news. Yeah, you're still having the pitcher hit,
Well, I'm
Jay.
43. Sorry, guy.
You know there's a DH now?
I'd love to know what new school beer darts are. Huh.
Oh, you are old school. I wondered why you picked the Montreal Maroons to win the Stanley Cup. Speaking of our predictions, we're going to have some fun with these. Part of buying or selling for our buddy Damon Bunting, a consistent top-producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area for over 17 years. He and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Community-driven, he understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out, DamonBunting.com. Instagram handle, Damon Bunting Real Estate. So first of all, quick recap of how we did in the opening round. 8 series to pick. So really, you got to get off to a good start because there are 15 series. So over half of them are in the first round. We both picked Toronto. Jay got it exactly right, Toronto in 6. I picked the Lightning. Jay had the Panthers. I'll skip the next series and come back to it at the end. I went out on a limb and took the Canadians in 7. It was Washington in 6. So you nailed that one, right? No, that was 5. That one was 5.
That was 5. I didn't quite nail it.
We both thought Vegas would make fairly short work of Minnesota. I said a sweep. Jay said 5. Jay nailed Dallas exactly. Dallas in 7. I had Dallas in 5. I was 2 seconds away from my St. Louis prediction, though I did say in 6. You had the Jets in 5.
I did.
So, but you got that one right. And then you nailed the Oilers exactly right. Edmonton in 6, as did the Koob. And I just said to heck with it. I'm going to pick the Oilers in 4.
I like that.
They did win 4 in a row, just not the first 4, like I was predicting. Now, so of all the series I just read off, Jay went 7 for 7. Do you want to say what happened in the other series?
Well, I had to take New Jersey because at the start of the season, we made our Stanley Cup predictions, and I had New Jersey meeting Winnipeg in the Stanley Cup final. So how could I then choose? Although I thought Carolina was going to beat New Jersey, I had to take them. So I took New Jersey. That was my loss.
So, and I took Carolina in 7. So I went 5 and 3. Effectively, you went 8 for 8.
Well,
but admirably, you honored your preseason prediction and took the Devils.
Yep.
So 7 and 1 is still pretty good.
Not bad.
But in terms of what you actually thought was going to happen.
And I said it on the show.
Yes.
I did say, I don't think New Jersey holds a candle to Carolina, but I have to take them. How can't I?
So really, Jay, your first foray into public on-air picking of teams,
pretty dang good.
You went 8 for 8.
No, hey, I'll take it.
And even if you're saying, hey, Reid, don't give me credit for that.
Yeah. I'll hang my hat on 7 to 1.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
So I went 5 and 3. You went 7 and 1. But also, of the 7, you correctly predicted also the correct number of games thrice. That's a remarkable first round for you.
Well, thank you.
I'm extremely, extremely impressed.
Well, hopefully I can go. Whoa! You don't get that one brought out all the time. Thank you.
So now we're going to do our guaranteed to be correct second round predictions.
I think you and I are going to differ on the first series because we said we're doing Toronto, Florida first.
Let's do Toronto, Florida first.
Okay, I think we're going to differ on this because you think Toronto's the team of destiny. I said that Florida is the Stanley Cup champs until somebody decides to knock them off. And Florida just ran through the Tampa Bay Lightning.
True.
Dustin's team that he said was going to win the Stanley Cup. Florida's playing very good hockey. But I think it's going to go the full distance. I think it's going to be Florida winning in 7.
I am going to keep riding the Leafs. I know Florida's very good. I know what they just did to Tampa Bay. What they're getting Ekblad back when? Not tonight, but game 2?
Yeah, not for game 1 tonight, but for game 2, which will be a huge addition.
But again, I've been saying, and I know, the Leafs didn't close. Well, they still beat Ottawa. Whether they closed them out as quickly as they should have or not, whatever. They advanced. They had to win game 6 on the road. They did that. I think this is a very, very good Leafs team. They have the stars up front. They have good defenders. They have some beef, and I think enough grit when they need it. Stolarz has been having a very good year in net. Yes, I think the Panthers are very, very good. I think, once again, it's going to be difficult for Toronto, but I do think the Leafs are going to figure this one out, and I'm taking the Leafs in 7.
So we both have them going to this series going to 7.
Right.
Which is great for hockey fans in general, especially ones that don't care about either teams particularly. Now, I think that there would be more people pro-Florida here just for the
probably.
Well, would there be? Toronto. That's a good question,
because Florida did beat the Oilers last year, and Matthew Tkachuk's not exactly a popular player.
That's a good point.
So people can tell us that on the Nasty Chat or the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox, 780-218-9999.
Yeah, Toronto.
Who are you cheering
Florida?
for, Toronto or Florida? Koob, can you put a poll up?
Yeah, let's do that.
Don't say who are you cheering for. Say who would you sooner see win the series. Put the poll up in the Nasty Chat on YouTube. Who would you sooner see win the series? And then Toronto or Florida will be the choices. I'm curious what we would get. I guess maybe it depends then how you think they're going to do against the Washington Carolina winner. Because maybe you're thinking, okay, I'm fine with the Leafs knocking out Tkachuk because I can't stand Tkachuk because I think the Leafs are going to lose the next round. Right?
I don't. I think whoever comes out of this is going to represent the Eastern Conference in the Stanley Cup Finals.
Well, I had to change my. I had the luxury of not having to honor my preseason predictions. Well, no, I did have the Panthers winning the East, so I went away from that. I went away from that in the first round. But Nashville was my preseason cup pick, so obviously I didn't have to worry about honoring that. So my pre-playoff pick was Dallas over Toronto. So I'm keeping with the Leafs in 7. You're going with Florida in 7. Koob's put the poll up in the chat on YouTube. So if you're not in there as well, jump into the YouTube thing, and while you're there, give us a thumbs up. Who would you sooner see win this series?
Well, there also is.
Can you edit it? You put with this series. Can you change it to win? Okay. Well, hopefully people will read it as win. Can you delete it and put up a new one? Okay.
There's also the thought of, if the Oilers make it to the Stanley Cup Finals and the Panthers make it to the Stanley Cup Finals, there's a thought of redemption there for Oilers.
Yeah,
fans,
maybe.
Right? Washington, Carolina.
Yeah, well, I
think this is going to be the most boring of the 4 series that remain.
Well, I just feel it's the one that, there's no Canadian team in it.
There isn't, and there's no, Carolina, I just find extremely hard to watch play hockey.
How come?
I think it's it happened when they did the thing there a couple years ago, and they thought they were
and all the storm surge celebrations.
Yeah. And their jerseys stink. Ugh. So I have Washington winning this, and I think Washington is. I don't mind your pick here on this because I know you took them harder than me, but I got Washington winning in 6.
I'm going to go with Washington in 5. I did take the Canadians in round 1. Obviously, I was going out on a bit of a limb there, but I think that we saw from the Capitals, the Canadians gave them some pretty good punches, and Washington was able to respond or shrug off most of them. So I do think Washington is legit. I'm going to go with Washington in 5. Carolina got to play kind of a beat-up Devils team in the first round, so I'll go Washington in 5. Okay?
Done.
Winnipeg, Dallas. Yes, I'm sorry, all the listeners of Winnipeg Sports Talk who tune into us. I did take St. Louis to beat the Jets in round 1. I thought that matchup was just wrong for the Jets. And let's face it, for the majority of Game 7, I looked like I was going to be right. Jets pulled off the miracle. Before the playoffs, I picked Dallas to win the Stanley Cup. I think that they are very good. I know they're missing a couple of great players, but they were able to figure out Colorado without those guys. Rantanen was outstanding. Ottinger versus Hellebuck is a compelling goaltending matchup. I'm going to go with Dallas in 6. Of course, it would not surprise me if the Jets won, but I'll honor my pre-playoff prediction of Dallas winning the Cup. And I do think they're very, very good. And I do think they're very, very experienced. And as we saw in the first round, the Jets aren't perfect. They can be pushed. They can be beaten. And I think Dallas will figure out how to do that. So Stars in 6 for me.
I think they're going to, at some point they will get Scheifele back. I don't know what's going on with Morrissey. Didn't seem like all that bad, but he didn't return to the game. Look, I'm looking at one thing in this series, and this is what I'm slapping all my chips down with, is that Connor Hellebuck played so bad in round 1 that I feel he has to bounce back in round 2 and play lights out for the Winnipeg Jets. I think Hellebuck bodies Dallas single-handedly. These might be low-scoring affairs. But yeah, I have Winnipeg winning 4-2 because Ottinger is a good goalie. If Hellebuck plays well, these could be, you might see some plays of the day coming up here with some under tallies, which I don't like to do. I'm generally an overs guy. But I just don't see Hellebuck playing this poorly for a prolonged time, in the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at this time of year, is there a bad pick? I don't know. I mean, all the teams are so good.
They're all so
They've already
good.
survived a play. And that's part of it, too. They've already survived a series. They already have that feeling of, we faced some stuff and we got through it. Even the Capitals having beat the Canadians relatively quickly.
Well, and Winnipeg survived with Hellebuck having an .830 save percentage read.
Yeah, and even that second goal last night,
Not great.
He might have brushed off the skate on the way in.
But he said it after, right? After the game, like almost like, "Okay, thank you. I'm on to the next one. I got to be better. Refresh." I think Hellebuck comes out and wins this series for them.
Leighton Janice in the Nasty Chat says, "Boo, Reid, boo." Well, I hear that a lot. And that's just walking down the street, and then I got to come on air and hear it. John L says the hockey gods' plan is to have an Oilers-Leafs final. I want to see the Leafs win so the Oilers can crush Leafs fans. Otherwise, I'd rather see them lose, okay?
It's 50-50 on the poll.
Is it?
Yeah, exactly. There's a poll up on YouTube for those.
No, the new one is different.
Oh, is it?
So Koob shut down the old one because he had a grammatical error in it. So the new one is, so if you voted in the first poll, check to see if you voted or not, because we have to restart the poll. The new poll is 73% Panthers.
I could see that. I think there's more disdain for the Leafs, or the Leaves.
And once you've seen something happen, maybe it hurts less. Okay, Oilers fans hate Tkachuk. They've seen him lift the cup. They've dealt with it already.
Yeah, but Oilers fans would rather see Tkachuk, running Austin Matthews into the boards than vice versa.
Yeah, that's also
especially
true.
Your mom. You'd love to see
My mom likes neither of those gentlemen. They would both be on her top 5 hated list.
Okay, but let me put it to you this way. If she could have one of them running the other person into the boards, who would be doing the hitting and who would be getting hit?
I don't know, actually, who she hates more.
I think
Austin.
I think Austin
she'd
would
see Austin suffer.
Yes, me too.
Yeah.
Well, you'll have to ask her later.
Well, she'll probably text me.
Okay, I'm
And
waiting. Louise, I'm waiting.
She does not like Matthew Tkachuk at all.
But I think she despises Austin Matthews more.
Yeah, there's something about Stone, as she calls him, that she really
It's the commercials. I swear.
She
It's
did
the
not
Royal
like
Bank.
the RBC
No,
commercials.
It's the
She was
RBC
not
commercials.
she's not a fan of the mustache.
That has turned so many, I don't care people into I can't stand this guy. Terrible.
Charlie says, I thought Reid was a friend of Winnipeg. Traitor, LOL.
Well, he has to follow his heart.
I'm a friend of the city of Winnipeg.
He's a friend of
most
all.
people I know from Winnipeg.
You're a friend of
but
all.
Hey, when I pick him, I got to pick him the way I pick him.
Hey, you're going to be wearing some... Hey, you better pay up on that bet there, Trevor. You're going to be wearing some cement shoes when you go for a walk in from North Saskatchewan. How's that? Hey, hope you like trout. There's a lot of them down there.
I think this is like Chuck E. Cheese meets The Sopranos.
All right, give us the thumbs up if you're on YouTube. Don't stop clicking. We are almost at double word of the day territory, which is 100, and then we can focus on making a push for 200. But let's get to that 155 milestone first. The draft lottery is coming up, so we'll have the live result there. Though probably most people are like, yeah, just spend 3 seconds saying it. We're glad the Oilers aren't in it. We'll make our predictions for Edmonton and Vegas when we get back. We, of course, are in the Banquet Studio. Celebrate your birthday at the Banquet Bar. Amazing drinks, great vibes, and unforgettable memories. Book your party today at thebanquetbar.com. And Jay's Play of the Day for Play Alberta coming up as well.
Toronto hosts Florida for Game 1 of the second round in the NHL. That one goes just after 6. Well, in Cali, General Manager Rob Blake and the Kings have agreed to mutually part ways. With an 18.5% chance to win first overall, the Sharks have the best odds for the top pick in the NHL draft lottery. The Blackhawks and Predators have the second and third best odds, respectively. In the CFL, the Elks have signed a total of 10 players, signing 4 players from this year's draft, including wide receiver Kobe Herford from Redwater, Alberta. And after spending Over 10 seasons in Baltimore, kicker Justin Tucker has been released by the Ravens, and basketball has 2 conference semifinal game ones, a Thunder clash with the Nuggets, while the Knicks and Celtics open up the night at 5 o'clock. While out east, the Jays have placed pitchers Max Scherzer and Eric Swanson on the 60-day injured list. They'll be out at least until the end of the month. While there's 10 games on tap right now, the Dodgers and Marlins are warming up. This sports update is brought to you by Find Edmonton. Find takes your unused furniture and home goods to help those moving out of homelessness. Get donations picked up or drop them off free of charge. Visit findedmonton.com or call them at 780-988-1717. We return to the Reid Wilkins Show after a brief intermission. I'm Zachary Kubusch, and you're up to date.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Timeout, Edmonton. The new Play Alberta app has arrived, and it's here to make your gambling experiences more fun, exciting, and secure. Enjoy the convenience of hundreds of casino games, betting live on your favorite sports teams, and access to lotteries all in one place, anywhere in Alberta. Enter code YEG50 to receive a $50 free bet when you make a $5 minimum deposit. That's a $50 free bet for new and existing users using code YEG50. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
You've always known GCL Diesel as the experts in diesel fuel systems, but did you know that GCL is also your source for turbochargers and turbo repair? As a turbo supplier for Garrett, Borg Warner, and Wholesat, GCL can provide genuine original equipment turbos at wholesale prices. Whether it's diesel, gas, natural gas, or performance, we can provide you with the turbo or custom repair you require. Turbo questions? We've got turbo answers. Visit us in the West End or online at gcldiesel.com. GCL Diesel, turbochargers, understood.
Downsizing, upsizing, or staging your home to sell? Sentinel Storage is Edmonton's team for affordable storage solutions. Try 4 weeks free. Details at sentinelstorage.ca.
Sentinel Storage, proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
I've got something under my skin. And the itch won't go
Okay,
away.
thanks a lot for tuning in this afternoon. Have a limerick here sent in from Jeff in YYZ, emailing Reid at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Last night near Portage in Maine, the whiteout was crazy insane. Game 7s are done. Now round 2's game 1. Will the Oilers and Jets meet twain? That's pretty good. That is very
Well
good
done.
from Jeff in YYZ. Email your limericks to either Reid at EdmontonSportsTalk.com or Jay at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Okay, good stuff. Getting you ready for the Oilers in Vegas as well. That starts tomorrow. Here's Evander Kane with a look at the Vegas defense.
Yeah, I think this is my 4th series against them in the playoffs, so, I mean, I don't really recall much different from their decor now to when I first played them in the playoffs. They're a big, heavy defense that takes away a lot of time and space, and they're long and they eat up a lot of pucks. So it's definitely going to be a challenge for our group.
Yeah, I think that decor for the Vegas Golden Knights, very, very good. Very, very good. Probably the number one obstacle, I think, for the Oilers in this series, not to underestimate other parts of the Golden Knights game. All right, so here's what we've got so far. For the second round, I have picked Toronto in 7. Jay has picked Florida in 7. We both have picked Washington. I say 5. Jay says 6. Jay's going with the Jets in 6. I'm going with Dallas in 6. Now we go to Edmonton and Vegas. Can you go first, sir?
Yeah, I think this team is found their way. They had to feel things out early on in the Kings series, but I think they're playing as good of team defense as they have all year, and I just like that. I mean, they're playing well in front of Calvin Pickard. I honestly, Calvin Pickard, Stuart Skinner, I don't think it matters right now. It depends on what that team can do, because in the first 2 games of this LA Kings series, if that was Calvin Pickard in the net, it wouldn't have mattered the way that they were defending in front of him. So now that they're playing better team defense, if they can do that, if they can sustain that and play together, that'll lead to the offense, and the offense, in my opinion, will take care of itself. I like the Oilers. I like the Oilers in 6 again.
All right. Koob, what do you have?
Man, I think this is the time for Edmonton's, I guess, revenge arc or redemption against the Golden Knights. They ran into them, of course, in 2023, the only time that they've played. But I think the Edmonton Oilers have been cooking something up in that first round. Like, they woke up. A different kind of beast woke up in that first round. And I think the Oilers are just going to storm past them in 6 games.
All right. In the first round, I picked the Oilers, and I picked them in 4.
You did. I was very proud of you.
Because I said to myself, I think they're better than LA. I think they can really assert themselves against the Los Angeles Kings. So I thought, why not? I'm going to put some optimism into the world. I'm going to pick the home team to win it 4 straight. Okay? So here's what I think going into this series. The Oilers clearly took some very big punches against the LA Kings. There were times, even in a couple of games they won, where they were playing off the back heel and had to fight and had to scratch and claw and had to figure it out. Adrian Kempe said after the series, I think we outplayed the Oilers for the most part. Maybe he's right, but they didn't win. Winning is a skill. And by that, I mean you have to understand game situations. You have to understand what is required on any given night. The recipe for winning might be different in game 1 than maybe in game 2. The players and coaches have to figure that out. Where do we need to go tonight? Who's playing well? How's the other team playing? What do we need to do to counteract what they are doing? The Oilers figured that out against the Los Angeles Kings. It wasn't always easy. It wasn't easy on the hearts and minds of Oilers fans who had to see some very dramatic come-from-behind wins in this series. As Jay Milne gave you the stat earlier, the Oilers trailed at some point in all 4 of their wins. Even the dominating Game 5 victory, they were down 1-0. I think, again, I'm confident in the Oilers' penalty kill. I think their power play will be very good. We've talked about having Frederick and Kane in the lineup, how that's sort of balanced things out and given the Oilers forwards a bit of a different dimension. The Oilers are not perfect. Yes, they're going to have to defend off the rush. Yes, they're going to have to limit their turnovers. Those are things that have plagued them when they've had struggles earlier in the season. But I think the Oilers can win this series. And if I think they can win the series, then why can't I think they can win 4 in a row? Everybody, I'm taking the Oilers in 4 once again. Wow. Why not?
Wow. He's done it again.
Why not?
Why not? Sure.
And here's the thing. In the McDavid-Draisaitl era, correct me if I'm wrong, have the Oilers ever swept a team? Odds are if they keep getting into the playoffs and winning series, eventually they're going to sweep a team.
It's bound to happen. It's bound to happen.
And maybe it'll happen at the time you least expect it.
This probably would be one of the times you least expect it. So I guess that nullifies my question to you, which was going to be, how important is Game 1 tomorrow?
Well, after Game 1 against Los Angeles, my prediction was wrong in terms of being exactly correct.
I still think your prediction was directionally right, because you said the Oilers will sweep 4-0, which they did. They just didn't do it till the start of Game 3.
Right. So they did win 4 in a row. They just
did.
didn't win the first 4.
So I'll give you a half point for that one. How about that?
Okay, sure. So I'm taking the Oilers in 4. Both Jason Milne and Zachary Kubusch are taking the Oilers in 6. So we agree on 2 of the 4 series. So it's good we disagree on some of them. That's always fun. Adds a little bit more drama to our selections. Those are guaranteed to be correct. Second round predictions. Oilers in 4. Why not? Why not?
Why not?
Tell me why it can't happen.
It can.
What all the people are going to say is Vegas is very, very good, which I recognize. But I've seen very, very good teams get swept. I saw the Oilers get swept when they were very, very good by the Winnipeg Jets in 2021. Jets won 3 of the 4 games in overtime. Sometimes weird things happen. There's something. Well, I mean, the Oilers have been good for a few years now, but just something about how that it went against LA. They got pushed. Like I said, they took punches. They had to change goalies. They had guys come into the lineup who'd been injured. They had other guys who had been injured and came back for game 1, ramp it up as the series went on. The Oilers are a very, very tough out. And I like the desperation with which they played. We haven't even talked about Klingberg today. What a game changer he was on the back end after not having a very good regular season. So there you go. I'm picking a sweep. I'm picking the Oilers in 4.
Very impressive.
Mock me if you must.
Who would mock that?
Well, I don't know. If I were a listener, I'd probably mock that.
Well, yeah. As Rip City Step in the Nasty Chat says, anything is possible! That's
right.
Why not?
All right. Keep giving us the thumbs up on YouTube. Half dozen away from 155. Double word of the day, and then we can push towards 200. But let's get us to 155 here in the next couple of minutes. New segment on the show, and of course, this is all because of Play Alberta now being the presenting sponsor of Edmonton Sports Talk. Play Alberta. Why settle for less when you can have it all? Only Play Alberta brings you casino games, live dealers, lottery, instance, and sports betting all in one place. New players can choose their offer. Deposit $20 with promo code 100casino and get a $100 free bet with get a $100 free bet with 100 Sports. The 100 Casino gets you $100 for the casino. Play smart, play local, and always use your game sense. And here we go. Brand new segment to the show. What, only the 3rd time you're doing this? It is Jay's Play of the Day. We're going to need some sort of music or something for this. I don't know. I don't know what.
Maybe you and I should perform something. Write a little jingle. Name it Jingles.
Jingles the Christmas dog.
Okay.
It's Jay's Play of the Day.
Yes.
He's going to tell you how to play. Jay Milne, Play of the Day. He's got it all locked up for you.
I think it just happened. I think we just wrote the jingle. Well, by we, I mean you. Oh, okay, here's a reminder. Here's a reminder, and I will say we're off the schneid for Jay's Play of the Day. It started out 0-1, but we got back big.
Yeah.
We got back a nice big one, the Play of the Day on Friday hit. That was for a plus 325. That was the overs play with the Jets Blues over 5.5 and Golden State Houston over 207. That made my Friday night. Made a few others as well. And a reminder for the promo codes. I had somebody text in and asked just to remind. So there's 3 promo codes.
Well, and I just goofed up the way I read that one, so you should clarify it.
Now here's the catch: is these are usable for new and existing players. It doesn't matter if you already have a Play Alberta account. Do it because you're getting a free bet out of it, and you're getting a $100 casino bonus. So deposit 20 or more to get a $100 casino bonus using 100 Casino. Deposit 20 or more for a $100 free bet on sports, which you might want to use on my Play of the Day. That's promo code 100 Sports. And the $50 free bet, you enter code YEG50 to receive a $50 free bet when you make a $5 minimum deposit. So YEG50, 100 Sports, and 100 Casino. That'll get you involved at Play Alberta. And a reminder, don't forget, use your game sense. My Play of the Day is something that people that are part of the Glue crew would expect. In fact, they may have expected this to be my first Play of the Day. I couldn't do it just because it was an Oilers game day.
Okay.
I asked Dusty today, I said, hey man, do you mind? Do you mind if I squeeze this one in? Because it's near and dear to the heart. And I love this bet. Okay. So what I'm doing, Jay's Play of the Day, and Play Alberta has this boosted right now. Oh, they've boosted it from plus 110 to plus 120. I love this bet. It's the Edmonton Elks 9+ season wins. So,
really?
9+ season wins. I've went through the season. I've looked at it. I have not given the benefit of the doubt to the Elks at all.
Okay.
And I see them having 11 wins.
Oh, nice. Well, I hope so.
That's with some 50-50s involved as well, where I didn't give it to the Elks. I gave it to the other team.
Okay.
So this team is more than capable of getting 9+ wins. So I have it at 11 wins myself. So that's Jay's play of the day. It's a future.
Yeah, we won't know this one until
But that's
October.
the beauty of it. That's why you get the good odds right now. Plus 120.
Sweet.
That's pretty good for what I see as something that, and it was 110. So if you like Jay's play of the day, go on to playalberta.ca and go to the top left, or if you're on your phone, find the specials at the top. It says EST specials. You'll see that there's 4 different specials on that EST is going to do every weekday. Dusty's got his play of the day in, Russell Westbrook, 12 plus points. There's a nice parlay for tonight's first or second round opener with the Florida Panthers and the Maple Leafs. So go in there and check those out. And if you want to ride with Jay, go ahead.
I was not expecting that. Okay, that's a good one.
I love that bet.
So basically, you're taking over 8.5 wins, or I guess 9. Okay, so they got to win 9 games.
9 wins is a push, but 9+. No,
9?
No, 9+. It's over 8.5.
Oh, 8.5. Okay, yeah.
It's over 8.5. So this is exactly where it was earlier. And
let's face it, the Elks did get to 7 last year.
Yes.
Like it felt like another bad year because they missed the playoffs, which isn't great, but they did get to 7. So you're saying 2 more wins this year.
I think 2 more wins is not.
I think it's very doable.
Is not that hard to do. And the way I've looked this season up, this team should get anywhere from 11 to 14 wins.
Oh wow, that's okay.
They could
really.
I mean, it depends on how they play. But look at the offseason moves.
You're really dangling that left nut. To paraphrase the young guest we had on Friday,
old Jet Ketty. Yeah, he's a legend now. We'll have to cut that at some point, eh? His clip. Yeah. Well, I know Koob did because he put it in the audio for the in between shows.
Oh, he did. Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, what a little warrior that guy was.
All right, that's a good one, Jay. Jay's play of the day for Play Alberta. Is the draft lottery coming up? Ooh, that's. Well, I guess it's exciting if you're a Sharks fan. It's no longer as exciting as it used to be in oil country. Did you watch when the Oilers won the McDavid lottery?
Of course.
Yeah.
Everybody did. There was parties like for the draft lottery.
I remember a few days before that draft lottery on Inside Sports, a guy called into me and he said, "Did you know, Reid, there's a website where you can simulate the draft lottery? You know, like it's just basically a randomizer where somebody put the odds in." And I said, "Yes, I've seen that site." And he said, "Well, have you used that site? Because I think I know what's going to happen." I said, "Well, I've used the site, but that doesn't really mean what's going to happen." He's like, "No, I've only clicked on it once and it said the Oilers are going to win the draft lottery. So therefore that's what's going to happen." And I said,
"Oh, wow.
Do you understand how odds in real life work, sir?" And he's like, "The Oilers are winning the draft lottery." And he hung up, quite perturbed with me. And I was like, "Well, okay." And then, of course, the Oilers won the draft lottery. So,
well, that was a day that. Would we be here right now talking about this without that day?
Well, we never know.
I guess you don't know.
They got him. It was nice they got him. All right, keep clicking the thumbs up on YouTube, everybody. Do not be a pleasure delayer. I don't know if it's slow recording it, but it's been stuck at 149 for about 15 minutes. So get in there and click away. Get us to 155, and then we'll try to get to 200 in the final hour. How about this? Sportsnet's Ken Reid is coming up. Great sports anchor, entertaining guy. Spent a portion of his career in Edmonton. He's going to join us. We got a break in the Koob first, though.
The EST Hangout.
We're going to see Stu Skinner at some point again. Well, for other fans, they hope that's not the case. And I say that because then that means Pickett's faltered. It's not going to be an easy series. 100%, I know. But I'm just saying, that's there would be something like, I hope not. But Pickett wasn't awesome. He wasn't outstanding. He didn't steal them that series. No. He was adequate. I go, he was better than adequate. He made the saves when he needed to.
The EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. Weekday mornings 9 to 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Spin to win Fridays at The Banquet. Every Friday, spin the wheel for a chance to win big and save on your bill. It's that easy. Spin, win, and save. Don't miss out. Details at thebanquetbar.com. The Banquet. Get real. Play hard.
Timeout, Edmonton. The new Play Alberta app has arrived, and it's here to make your gambling experiences more fun, exciting, and secure. Enjoy the convenience of hundreds of casino games, betting live on your favorite sports teams, and access to lotteries all in one place anywhere in Alberta. Enter code YEG50 to receive a $50 free bet when you make a $5 minimum deposit. That's a $50 free bet for new and existing users using code YEG50. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
At Mind360, we invite you to embark on your mental health journey in a safe and comfortable space. Conveniently located in St. Albert, Mind360 has a diverse team of experienced clinicians that offer a broad range of tailored services for children, adults, and families. Furthermore, we are very proud to serve our military, veterans, and first responders. If you're looking for counseling, treatment, or assessment, understand that you are not alone. Contact Mind360 at mind360.ca to book an appointment today.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
NHL playoff action has Florida and Toronto clashing in the postseason for the second time ever. The Leafs falling in 5 games during their last matchup back in 2023. And the NHL draft lottery gets going in just a moment. San Jose has the best odds for winning first overall. Chicago, Nashville, Philadelphia, and Boston with the next best odds in that order. In the CFL, the Elks have signed 10 players, having 3 Alberta players get a deal, with running back Jonathan Rosary and Calgary's Romeo Nash, defensive back from the Golden Bears, being signed contracts. And down south, the Ravens have released kicker Justin Tucker after 13 seasons. While on the court, there's 2 game ones. OKC plays Denver, while the Knicks and Celtics go head-to-head. The Nuggets and Thunder tip off in just a moment. Out east, Max Scherzer and Eric Swanson of the Jays both hit the 60-day injured list, having 10 games on tap today. Right now, the Dodgers lead 1-0 over the Marlins midway through the second inning. I'm Zachary Kubusch. That was your sports update. The third and final hour of the Reid Wilkins Show starts right now.
All right. Hope you're doing great. We certainly are. Jason Milne, Reid Wilkins, Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton Sports, presented by Play Alberta. We just gave you Jay's Play of the Day. Edmonton Elks over 8.5 wins in the upcoming season. So talk about pleasure delay. We're going to have to wait months to find out about this one. Jason Milne. Incredible. Go to playalberta.ca or on the app and click EST specials. You shall see them all there.
Rip City Step, I'm riding with the Glue Crew and the Elks once again.
Well, why not?
We delivered last year. And by golly, let's try to deliver again. Good Time Charlie says Reid's jingles are all one take needed. One take Reid.
Well, except I don't know if there are takes in improv. You just sort of get on there and do it, right?
We should do something, though. You and I.
What?
Come up with a jingle.
Oh, like for what?
Jay's Play of the Day.
Oh, for Jay's Play of the Day. I thought you just meant in general, for life.
We could harmonize.
We could.
You don't.
I don't know.
No,
I'm not saying that we. I'm not saying we couldn't or shouldn't do a duet. I'm saying my ability to create any sort of harmonizing.
No, you would do it in the thumb, thumb, thumb voice.
Oh, that's my singing
voice.
And
then I would just talk below
it. For God's sake, Reid, don't use your real voice.
Well, the thumb, thumb, thumb voice is iconic.
You need someone to provide backing vocals, Mr. Jason Milne of the Reid Wilkins Show. 3 to 6 p.m. Edmonton Sports Talk. You know, when I was younger, I used to be in a barbershop duet. We didn't have enough people for the quartet.
Bookbinder just wants to work with you, Jay. He just wants
I'm
to be
open
a
to
part
anything.
Of, he wants to buy advertising. He wants to sing with you.
Bookbinder hasn't bucked up yet, Reid.
He hasn't what?
He hasn't bucked up yet.
It sounded like you said something else.
No.
Oh, my
Big
goodness.
Big Uke is in.
Big Uke's in for what?
We ride, he says. We ride with Jay's play
for the play of the day. I thought he wanted to be in our barbershop duet.
Sure.
Oh, my goodness. I love doing this show. You've been a joy to work with, my friend. My friend, not my best friend.
Oh, why do you got to do that?
Well, just to
why do you got to clarify?
I got to keep you in your place. I don't want you to get cocky or overly familiar.
Well, I'm not in jeopardy
awful.
of that.
God, I'm a terrible person. We got the draft lottery on the ESTV. We have Gary Bettman. Well, though look at the stiffs they got. You can tell there's the lawyers and the accountants. Yeah, for God's sake, we're not going to smile.
A couple Jablonskis there.
Give me some more numbers to crunch. Jablonski, try to smile when you're on television. But it's serious business. I got the briefcase. Jablonski, you're with Gary Bettman. Say hi to him.
Oh, there are the coveted balls.
There are the balls. They're loading the balls, everybody. So they've never shown this live before.
So this is the ball deliverer?
The ball deliverer.
Yeah.
Now the ball loador is it's Lodor. What was the guy? Oh, that was Hodor in Lord of the Rings. Or no, what? Game of Thrones. So the way they do it, and actually Jay was like really drilling me on this earlier.
Wow, it's funny.
You're like, why do they use these many balls, Reid? Well, why do they use 14 balls? I'm like, Jay, they got to get a combination. Well, why don't they just pick a combination?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
The thing is, they could just use a computer for this. They could just say, okay.
Yeah, but you couldn't.
And then just click a button. But this is a little more dramatic. So they load in 14 ping pong balls, numbered 1 through 14. They're going to draw 4 of them. That 4-ball combination has been randomly assigned to a team. And then they've assigned, the certain percentages. So San Jose has more combinations assigned to them than other teams, right? So they've put the 14. Well, we might as well just broadcast this live now.
Well, you have to
before we get to fired up. We're fired up for the draft lottery live for Gemco Fireplaces, proudly serving Edmonton and area for 45 years. The authorized dealer for Napoleon Fireplaces. Whether it's gas or wood burning, look no further than Canadian-made Napoleon Fireplaces. All the Napoleon products you need are available at Gemco, 9281 50th Street. They could have got Gemco to make the little ball flicker. What is that called? The drum. It's the drum, right?
Yeah, I don't think they'll refer to it on the broadcast as the ball flicker.
No, well, if you write it out and you put the L and the I too close together, then it really looks like something else. Oh, they even have a countdown. Time to next ball. So
look at how serious
the one guy's going to do a hand. So one of the accountant guys has his hand up and he does a little hand signal. Okay, thanks for being there, buddy. The first ball out is a 7. And then okay, so he puts that back in the tube, but now the tube is... Okay, so now they eliminate... Oh, Calgary can't win. Calgary does not have any combinations with a 7. They only had a 0.5 chance of winning anyway. So Calgary only could have moved up 10 spots. All right. Oh, now the time to the next ball.
Look at the guy watching the time.
They're so unhappy.
Like it's going to jump from 20 seconds.
I didn't realize they would have all these accountants / I guess they're probably accountants, but we don't have the audio on, so we didn't hear the introduction. But they're like the heavies.
They are.
We must enforce the law.
They look like they belong in the Matrix.
Yeah, it's right? Agent Smith or whatever the guy's name was.
Oh, he's got his hand ready.
Thank you, because that counter is not enough.
Yeah.
He has to signal it with his hand. Go now. Click the button. So now they suck out another ball. And it's an 11. Oh, 7 and 11, baby. Give me a Slurpee. So now they're going to update live who still has possibilities. And all the lower odd teams are out. So Detroit, Columbus, Utah, and Vancouver.
And San Jose, they started at 25.5%?
No, they started at 18.5%.
Or they're up to 24.2%.
Right.
Huh. This is
Mike, the Michigan fan, very unhappy.
He is. Well, now this whole ball flicker, deliverer, dropper process is going to get blown out of the water for anybody that didn't get it.
Hey, Steve, what'd you do at work today? I flicked my hand so they knew when to suck the balls out. What are you
believe
talking
if
about?
that's your job? You know? I wonder what they did.
They just showed all the
hands
GMs
up, Reid, another ball.
He's ready to go. They just showed all the GMs watching virtually.
And go.
Oh, I can't. A 4 almost came out, but it didn't. It's a 12. This is for people who aren't watching this. This is oddly compelling and absurd. Nashville's out. San Jose, Chicago,
Boston's out.
Philly, Seattle, Buffalo, Pittsburgh, and the Islanders are still alive.
But look at the odds of San Jose now. They dropped down to 9.1.
Oh, right. Look, the Islanders and Pittsburgh were 9th and 10th. They had the 9th and 10th best odds. Oh, now it tells them
they know what they need
to win. This is actually kind of fun.
Jeez.
So if a 5 or a 13 come out, the Islanders go up from 10 to 1. If a 1 or a 10 come out, would be nice for the Penguins to finally win a lottery and get a good draft pick.
Boy.
They might be going to a commercial. No,
they got the timer.
They got the timer. What's timer
What's
going
going
to
on?
They're going to a commercial. Now the rest of the balls are just fluttering around.
Yeah, they're getting.
They're going to get tired.
Yeah, they're going to get tired. They're going to wear and rub on each other. Going to change.
Yeah,
the
they're going to be
outcome.
different shape.
Yes. My gosh.
How to ruin everything, National Hockey League. My God. Yeah, we're fired up for Jebko. We might have to put up our... I might have to put off my fired up topic for tomorrow. Do you want to do yours here?
Yeah, sure.
Or your football one?
Yeah.
And then we'll give the final draft lottery when they get back.
The Packers had their first flag football. I'm the coach of my daughter's flag football team. It's 10 and 11 girls and boys. They play on. It's a mixed team, but my daughter's the only girl on our team. We came out and we were in a punch out. I mean, it was back and forth. It was high paced. We ended up losing the game 29-28.
Oh,
we lost by 1 point.
Okay, so sorry to interrupt, but I think this is an appropriate interruption. When you told me you were coaching the team, I asked you if there are converts on touchdowns. So the fact that it was 29-28 leads me to believe that there are.
There are. Yes, there are. And oddly enough, I believe it cost us the game. So there's converts, but there's no scoreboard. And we got into it, and it's bang bang. It's fast. It's 25-minute halves runtime, so it goes by fast.
Okay.
And we scored on the first 2 possessions. We were up 2 touchdowns to nothing. We scored. We stopped them. We scored. So there, I'm thinking, okay, we got this. We're good. And they did come back. I will say that, but we scored with about a minute left in the game.
Okay.
And I had been asking the referees all game, what's the score? They said, well, we don't know. So I thought, okay.
Well, somebody has to know.
No, I thought at that point, I'm thinking, okay, so this is just kind of like, okay, whatever, fun. They're not keeping score. There's no scoreboard on the sideline. There's nobody flipping numbers. No idea what the score is.
Okay.
And keep in mind, I'm on the field. I'm busy. Like, I'm not thinking that.
Hey, you're calling plays into your headset.
Yeah, right. And it turns out that we probably should have went for 2. Because at that point, it was 29-27.
Oh, so at some point, the other team had gone for 2.
Yeah. And and so I said, well, I just said we'll go for 1 because I thought it would be easier to get that.
But it's not kicking. It's
a play.
It's yardage.
It's just a matter of how far you are from the end zone.
So how far, what's the yardage for a 1-pointer?
I think it's 5 and 10 yards. One pointer's 5.
Oh, my goodness.
So I said, let's go for 1. We got it.
And none of the kids were saying, no, Coach Milne, we're down 2.
Nobody said it. I didn't. Nobody knew. It's on me.
Nobody was like, Papa G.
No. Hand up. This is on me. I cost the 10-11 Packers the victory.
My God.
Or at least a tie on Saturday at the Emerald Hills Fields in Sherwood Park. I take the blame for this one. But I will say this. We were playing the Dolphins. And this Dolphins team comes out and they played zone.
What's wrong with that?
What? Why would you play zone in 10-11 football?
Well, they got the win.
Barely. And, I mean, aren't we here to teach these kids how to play football?
Yeah, well, zone is one of the tactics used in defensive football.
At high level football, like I'm talking like bantam and up. These are 10 and 11-year-olds. I thought we're here to teach them how to cover somebody and say, I got that guy, you cover that guy. You know what I mean? And here they're playing this shell zone. I did not know that you could play zone. So there, I'm 0 for 2 in being a bad, or I'm 2 for 0 in being a bad coach.
You would be, if Terry Jones were covering your team,
Yes.
you would be roasted in his latest column.
I should probably be fired. I should be. If they want me to resign, I will throw in my resignation.
Well,
right now.
I'm a little disappointed you didn't know the score as your friend. I'm a little disappointed in you.
In
know
hindsight,
the score.
I am too.
Here comes the final ball. The guy's going to signal it for the NHL draft lottery. We've been announcing this live, and
it's a 13.
Was that one of Pittsburgh's numbers? Who is this? The first overall pick in the draft. 7, 11, 12, 13. The numbers. They're not putting it up on the board. We don't have the sound going. Somebody's right. One of the Jablonskis is writing something down.
Look at his face.
Boy, he's serious. Like, were they told not to smile, or did they pick people who are incapable of smiling?
Probably incapable. He had to hand it over to
Bill
him.
Daly, so Bill Daly could flip it over like he always does. The first overall pick.
The timer guy is just not. He's just trying
what
not
does
to
he
crack.
do now? He's lost. The
Islanders.
The Islanders moved up from 10 to 1. How about that? The Islanders moved up from 10 to 1. They had, less than 5% chance going in? How about that? The New York Islanders. Now they're going to do another draft lottery for the second overall pick.
Why wouldn't you?
And if another Islanders combination comes up, then they have to do a third lottery. The New York Islanders will pick first.
Wow. I just the balls and the combinations were neat how they struck everybody off and they changed the odds.
We're laughing at it, but like I said, it's both compelling and absurd at the same time.
So now, because
Futures
there's
of
one
NHL
less
franchises depend on this.
Now there's one less team, so that means San Jose's starting odds should go up. Correct?
Their odds to get this pick, yes.
Yeah.
They're doing the second draw right now.
How ticked are you if you're... Well, it's funny enough, who are we going to have on the show tomorrow?
Oh, Drew's probably going to be on tomorrow. Drew Remenda. Yeah. Sharks.
We'll get his reaction.
Well, they got the first overall pick. Now, the rule is you can only move up in the draft lottery twice in a 5-year span. Move up. So San Jose, if they would have won, that wouldn't have counted as one of their 2, right? Because it's only if you move up, not if you stay. If not, if you're the last place team and you stay picking first overall. Did I explain that right? I feel like I overcomplicated that.
None of this makes all that much sense, period.
Well,
so yeah, Mex Bezzozu in the nasty chat says, did you own up to your mistake during your post-game interview? I did. It was a somber day from then on. I felt a lot of pressure and pain for my players.
What did your daughter say to you?
She had fun.
She wasn't aware that you could have gone for 2 to tie the game?
No, and the kids, they all had a good time. I mean, we probably, here's the truth. If I kept running the same play over and over that was beating them, we would have won by a lot.
Oh, really? They couldn't.
But I'm actually trying.
Stop? Okay.
No, you can't stop when you can't flag somebody. And they couldn't. So if I would have kept doing that, we would have won. But it's my duty to teach these kids the game of football, to have other kids touch the football, throw the football, run the football. So I feel even in loss, it was the right thing to do.
Do you have an assistant coach?
My wife.
Is there another assistant coach?
She'll be scorekeeping.
But
next
at least
game.
you'll have a scorekeeper. Were any of the parents upset with you?
No.
Were they even aware this happened?
They just were, time to go. Okay, bye. See you at practice.
Okay, it's 29-28. What are you talking about?
You know what? In all honesty, if you were a parent watching that on the sideline, it would be an entertaining game. Because the kids are having fun. There was lots of action, lots of scoring. So it'd be a great game to watch. So yeah, I don't think there'd be any regrets.
Well, you appear to have some.
Me personally, yes, as the coach.
You personally.
I'm not a player.
Nobody
on the team,
else.
But not the players.
All right, they're drawing for the second overall pick. The numbers that have come out, 1, 5, 12. Pull the final one, Jablonski.
Well, why aren't they doing the same thing as they did
they're
before,
not-
where they
it's
show the
not as
odds?
suspenseful. Oh, yeah, there is.
Okay, so San Jose's look to be pretty dialed in to get
36% chance.
I mean, wouldn't this be even
Now, you can
worse?
only move up 10 spots, right? So Utah and Calgary are still alive, but they could only move up to 4 and 6, respectively. Did they do it? Because they just changed something.
Where's the numbers guy that points at the thing when the
Put it up.
Okay,
Oh,
so
they're not dragging this out again, are they?
So San Jose needs 4 balls to win to get to pick second overall. They need 2, 6, 8, 11.
Nashville, Boston. Don't go to a commercial again. They're just. This is.
Oh, the timer's not. Oh, there's the timer.
Oh, there's the timer, and it's frozen at 30 seconds.
Oh boy.
Now Bettman's announcing an expansion team for Phoenix.
The
No, they
timer.
aren't.
The timer watcher's
Okay,
watching
so
the timer.
We'll do this. Koob, we'll tell people who's picking second overall. The Islanders moved up to get the first overall pick from number 10. They went from 10 to 1. So now there's another lottery for the second overall pick. So we'll tell you who that is going to be. Then we'll do Koob a break, and then we'll do Ken Reid from Sportsnet is going to join us for some fun. Here comes the final ball. Yes, signal at Jablonski. There's the hand signal. Now they suck out ball number 3, and this combination goes to 1-5-12-3.
I think that was one of San Jose's
they got to
numbers.
write it. So then they won't show us the board. Now the other Jablonski, very serious, is writing it down. Bill Daly looks like he's waiting for a car to take him to his reservation. I think it is San Jose.
I think that was one of their numbers.
Come on. Don't. Come on, Bill Daly. Flip it over. I liked it better when they had the big placard with the Oilers logo on it. It is the Sharks. Okay. No, it's Utah.
No, San Jose gets...
No, look. Utah moved up from 14 to 4. Utah won.
Utah
won the
That's
lottery,
right.
but they can only go up 10 spots. So 2 of the very low percentage teams won the lottery. So they go up from 14 to 4. San Jose holds, though. San Jose can only drop down to number 2. They can't be bumped by Utah. My goodness. That was quite dramatic.
Electric, some would say.
Woo-wee.
Wow.
Ken Reid from Sportsnet coming up.
The Islanders and Hockey Club have won the NHL Draft Lottery. New York moves up 9 spots from 10th overall to pick first, while Utah moves from 14th to 4th. San Jose will pick second. And the NHL has announced this year's Calder Trophy finalist Dustin Wolf of the Flames, San Jose's Macklin Celebrini, and Layton Hudson from Montreal being the 3 nominees. And Brad Marchand and the Panthers take on the Leafs in round 2 action. Puck drop is just after 6 o'clock. And 10 players have been signed by the Edmonton Elks, including 3 players from Alberta, with Edmonton-born wide receiver Colby Herford getting a deal. On the court, the Celtics hold the Knicks 17-11 in Game 1. Midway through the first quarter before the Nuggets and Knicks throw down in the West semifinal. Baseball has 2 games, with the Dodgers up 1-0 on the Marlins. 10 games total around the MLB. This sports update is brought to you by Clover Bar Feeds. Clover Bar Feeds has all the animal feed you'll need. Get top-notch service and selection from their family-owned business. Visit Clover Bar Feeds at 200 Portage Close in Sherwood Park, or call them at 780-467-5014. The Reid Wilkins Show rolls on once we get back from break. I'm Zachary Kubusch, and you're up to date.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric.
Craig Button.
I don't care if you're up 3-0 in a series. I don't care if you're up by 3 or 4 goals in the third period. The Edmonton Oilers have shown time and time and time again now that they are never down and out. Any team that thinks that they have the Edmonton Oilers down and out are making a crucial mistake. There's no such thing as protecting a lead against the Edmonton Oilers, because the Edmonton Oilers don't see any lead that's insurmountable.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric, presented by Southport Chevrolet. Weekday mornings 6 to 9, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Strike up some fun at the Banquet Bar. Bowling, drinks, and a great time with friends, where the good times roll. Whether you're here to bowl or just hang out, the Banquet Bar is your go-to spot. Get real, play hard at the Banquet.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Your home for great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino.
My mother used to let us not lock the doors. She's like, if you're locking the doors inside of the house, it means you're doing something you shouldn't be doing. Yeah, that's why we lock the doors.
Host of the Bad Friends and Whiskey Ginger podcast, don't miss Andrew Santino, Freeze Peach, live at the River Cree May 22nd.
Michael, what are you doing? We have locks on the outside of the house to keep criminals from coming inside. There's no criminals inside of this house. Yes, there are, Karen.
Get your tickets at rivercreeresort.com. Excitement, bet on it.
And there they go, to Sentinel Storage. The snowblower and winter gear goes in. They shoot, we store!
Need extra space? Store your winter gear with Sentinel Storage and win extra space at home. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca. Proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
All right, good to have you tuning in this afternoon. Second round starts in a little over half an hour. Leafs against the Panthers. Oilers in Vegas tomorrow. That is a 7:30 game. So we will have the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas at 6 tomorrow night. So right after this show, straight into the pregame show, and they'll be on after the game for the postgame as well. Islanders win the draft lottery, going up to number 1. Utah was the second team picked, so they go up from 14 to 4. So the Islanders went, from 10 to 1, and the Utah, are they still the hockey club? Went up from 14 to 4. So the top 5, Islanders, Sharks, Chicago, Utah, Nashville. That's how it'll go.
Didn't they get the Mammoth now? Isn't that their...
Have they said that already? I don't think they've announced it, though.
I saw something that they're starting to make that their...
Roll out the tusks.
Their mascot.
Okay.
The tusks.
Give us the thumbs up if you're watching on YouTube. Let's make a push to get to 200 thumbs in the final hour of the show. If you've been texting us at 780-218-9999, you have been using the afternoon inbox presented by River Cree Resort and Casino, home of the kitchen restaurant, all-you-can-eat prime rib buffet for just $49.99 every Sunday from 4 to 10 p.m. We got a few minutes with this gentleman. He is one of the, he's one of the best broadcasters in the country. He's incredibly entertaining. He's incredibly friendly. He's incredibly smart. It's Ken Reid from Sportsnet checking in. Ken, how are you doing?
Good after that tire pump. Thanks, Reid. Appreciate it.
Yeah, there it was. That's the only thing I'm good at. It's making other people feel good. How dramatic was that draft
That's a host
lottery?
job, right?
Yeah.
Oh, nothing says great TV like a bunch of accountants in a room. That was awesome. Holy smokes. My wife always says numbers don't make for great television. So,
we were enjoying the hand signal guy.
Yeah, he was our favorite.
Yeah.
Everybody could see the countdown from 30, yet his one sole job and purpose there was to trigger the other person whose only job was then to put the balls. What did you say? He was the ball
deliverer and loader? I don't know.
Yeah.
Jay, the hand signal guy reminded me of the Australian rules football guy when it goes through. He was just right in charge of everything.
Very good.
Imagine mocking people on TV. Hopefully people mock me just as much as I deserve it.
No, they appreciate you.
Yeah, good for the Islanders. Kenny Morrow looked happy.
Yeah, I was like, hey, Ken Morrow, he was a good player. I didn't realize that was him.
Great beard back in the day.
That's true. All right, we got to ask you, because Jay was like, can we have Ken Reid on? And I was like, well, we can have Ken Reid on, but like there's about 15 different ways we can go with Ken. So what specifically do you want to talk about? And he's like, well, we got to ask him. So he's getting ready to do the highlights last night.
Yeah.
Like, what was that whole end of the third overtime like for you when you're waiting to do a highlight show?
Well, I had the obit piece ready on the Winnipeg Jets. I'm ready to say they are the Maple Leafs of the West. They are super talented. They can't get past the first round, which isn't true about the Leafs anymore. And I'm just ready to come on and do the post-mortem on how this team just can't get over this hump. And, they score with $1:55 to go, and you're thinking, okay, they got a chance. And then, the last 30 seconds, it doesn't look like it's going to happen. They can't keep the puck in. Ehlers just fanning on it. But the absolute composure for Ehlers with, I don't know, what was it, 4.5 seconds left, not to just whack the puck at the net, but to spot Kyle Connor. And then for Kyle Connor, Montgomery kind of said that he thought Connor fanned on it. I thought he was throwing it right in front to Perfetti. And then Perfetti, the hands, and I said to Ivanka off camera, I said, he makes that deflection because it's something he's done 58,000 times in practice. That's just muscle memory to know where to get that blade, to go right up under the bar. That was insanity. We went wild in here. It was nuts. And then the overtime, it almost seemed inevitable. The ice was so tilted. But you guys know, Jay and Reid, in overtime, all you need is a bounce. But it turns out Winnipeg gets that bounce. So it was nice to come on the air and do something positive for Winnipeg because there's so much talent there. And the fact that they pulled it out without Morrissey for most of the game, without Scheifele, and with a version of Connor Hellebuck that's not Connor Hellebuck was incredible to me. That was one of the coolest nights at work I've ever had.
Ken Reid joining us here from Sportsnet. Ken, I got to ask you, because Luke Gazik comes on our show and on the EST airwaves once a week, whether it's with our show or the morning show. Mm-hmm. Friend of the show, love Luke. But, as a former player, Kevin BX is up there too. And I just wonder, which of these two personalities will you say, do you and Ivanka like to sit down with after the game, and throw a few questions their way? Pretty much I'm asking you, who do you like better, Luke or Kevin Bieksa?
Kelly Hrudey.
Yeah, he was on our show earlier today. Yes. Perfect.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, I saw that tweet. No, they're fun. It's fun to have the boys come over and just fire stuff at them because they literally wrap up in the NHL studios. And then it's about a 5-minute walk from the NHL studio to here. You have to go across a catwalk, across the street, and then down a couple tunnels. And they usually come in here when we're doing the highlights. Ivanka's doing the highlights last night. Kev comes in and kind of just gives me one of those. I'm like, yeah. And it's fun. You can chuck anything at them. I like when Kevin and Kelly or Gaz come by, because I want to know. I don't want to know numbers. I don't want to know real technical stuff. I want to know what a player is thinking in that moment. Like if you're on the Blues, what are you thinking when that puck goes in? If you're on the Jets, what are you thinking when that puck goes in? What's it like to play a double overtime game? What's it like to be Neil Pionk and play 46 minutes? And so Kevin was telling us stories of his overtime back in the day. And I mean, having Gaz for our Oilers breakdowns are perfect. I mean, the guy was Connor McDavid's roommate, for God's sakes. So, you'll start breaking down stories with Luke, and the next thing you know, he's talking to you about the first time he took Connor to the mall to go to Aldo to buy shoes at West Ed, and it was like the Beatles had arrived.
Yeah.
By the way, Gaz and Ivanka and I went to West Ed last year. It wasn't quite like the Beatles, but it was like Platinum Blonde walking through the mall. Gaz was getting stopped. It wasn't bad.
You must have got stopped a little bit.
No, I was just Luke Gazik entourage. I was like Turtle.
Yeah. I'm right into the entourage right now. I'm rewatching. I got to bring something.
Show.
Yeah, I think it's one of the best. I really do. I got to ask you about this too. We had something come up in the office here today. Our producer, Zachary Kubusch, who you can't see, but he went to a garage sale over the weekend, and I think he got swindled. Well, I know he got swindled on some hockey cards that he picked up there. I know you're an avid card collector. Mm-hmm. So I just want to know, is there, or have you come across, or have you had the opportunity to find something magnificent that nobody knew about that was sitting at a garage sale or somewhere where it shouldn't be, and you rescued it and took it home?
I wish. No, that's always a fantasy to come across the garage sale, right? Like, and so many times people will contact me, I've got old hockey cards. And I'll say, send me a picture. And I'll go, yeah, they're old, but they're 35 years old. They're from 1990. And those things were printed nonstop. So hopefully Zachary didn't get swindled. But there's been some great finds. I've bought some great collections that people have had, but I've never had a go to a garage sale. Oh my God, that's a Bobby Orr rookie. The closest thing I ever had, well, I guess my mom bought a box of cards. Probably was about 88. She bought it at an auction in a town called Westville. So yeah, Jay, I guess I did. And she bought for like $10, brought it home, and my brother and I were going, oh my God, this is the Gretzky rookie year. And there was a Gretzky rookie in there.
Oh my.
So there you go. Now that I go into the deep recesses of my mind, I guess I did, but I've never personally gone to a garage sale and just gone, oh, wow, look, there's a Maurice Richard rookie or anything like that.
Would you buy a bag of cards? Because this is what Koob did. We call him the Koob. He just bought a bag of cards, sight unseen.
I'm assuming they're probably from the junk wax era is what we call it, from around 88 to 92 when they just printed these things off.
Right.
So I would probably donate a bag to be sold to someone like Koob, but I wouldn't buy them. Like I gave away, I'd say in the last 3-4 years, I've probably given away 50,000 cards just to kids and stuff that my son played with. And just because the stuff from circa 1990, I had it all 10 times over. So I just kept the set of everything and gave the doubles away because there were so many of those cards printed off. So if you're out there and you have a Scott Allison rookie from 1990 score, who was drafted by the Oilers, makes his home in Nova Scotia now. Scotty's a good dude. There's a lot of Scott Allison rookies out there. So there's a lot of 1990 Bill Ranford score with the Conn Smythe trophy. There's a lot of those out there. So Koob, if you got some of those, buddy, you're not going to be retired anytime soon.
Scott Allison played in the 2007 Allen Cup for the Halifax Molson Canadiens. I did play-by-play for the Lloyd Border Kings, who won the tournament. Okay.
Was that in Fort Saskatchewan?
No, that was in Stony. That was in Stony Plain.
Oh, that's right. It was in Stony Plain. Yeah. My buddy Alex Johnstone played for Halifax, too. Alex was living out in Edmonton then. So, there you go. Coached by Jim Bottomley.
Right. I know you got to go. So, we you and I have done half hour. I think one day we did an hour on hockey cards on my old show.
Probably, yeah.
So, but I said to Jay, because this is his first time getting to talk to you, I said to Jay, like, Ken's a huge hockey card guy. And I was like, he was like, how huge? I was like, I don't know. I think he has 40,000 cards, but I must have underestimated because you said you gave away 50. Do you know what you're at right now?
Reid, I'm at around 40 or 50 right now. So you're right.
Okay.
You're technically correct because I think I told you that last time I was on, I was around 40 or 50 because I'd given a bunch away.
Okay.
So I'd like to pare down. But speaking of Stony Plain, my most recent awesome purchase was a Glenn Hall rookie card. So there you go.
Wow, that's nice.
It's a card I've been looking for a long time. And I thought the price was right to get Mr. Goalie, and it's a beautiful card. It's a 1957 Topps. It's like a little piece of art. So if you want to Google it, it's a cool shot of Glenn. He's like that, and it's a drawing, I do believe. So it's a cool card.
Okay, we know you got to run. Are you on right after Leafs Panthers, or when can people find you tonight?
We're on right after Leafs Panthers. Ivanka and I got to run. We got to tape a quick little segment right now. Goals of the week. But, yeah, we're on after Leafs Panthers tonight to break it all down. So cheer for regulation, boys. I don't want to be here all night.
You need some sleep.
Smart.
Ken,
Regulation's my favorite team.
You're the best. We love having you. Thanks for fitting us in. I know it's really busy for you guys, but I know you love doing it. We love having you on. We'll talk again soon, okay, buddy?
See you, boys. Pucks in deep.
There we go. Ken Hrudey, author as well. He's written a lot of great books about hockey and hockey players. And, we covered a lot. He's great. He's so good.
Well, I love the Stony Plain connection with the Glenn Hall rookie card.
Yeah.
He just purchased. Wow.
It looked cool where he was, too.
Yeah, I wanted that. He must be on set.
Yeah, he might be on set.
Those ready to tape sets look really cool. And they look cool on that. Oh, there's the card. Koob's got it up.
Found it. Great work, Koob.
Or maybe nice yellow background.
Maybe Koob bought it in that bag.
Yeah. Well, if I did. But no.
What year are your cards from? Do you know?
They're a mix of the junk wax era. Like some of them are from the 90s. Some are from the early 2010s as well. Like there's an odd combination.
But there's no
of
rookie
cards.
card or anything.
There's no rookie cards or anything like that. There was a cool Jonathan Quick one, but they're all bent out of shape too, which I should have thought. Yeah, it was. And I picked them out. I didn't even the bag that it was in. I put them in that sandwich bag to try and protect them, quote unquote, even though they're not worth more than 50 cents.
I'm sorry,
each.
Koob. I can't talk about this anymore. I'm sorry.
That's all good. You got more important things to talk about. Yeah.
It's over.
It's over.
Keep hammering away at that thumbs up on YouTube as we're into the final 20 minutes of the show. Of course, Jay and I are coming to you from the Banquet Studio every Monday. Bowl for just $2 all day at the Banquet Bar. Walk in, grab your friends, and start your week with some fun. Get real, play hard. The Banquet. All right, we got to do a quick timeout. We did hit double word of the day. We're still going to make a final push for 200 thumbs. So if you're on YouTube, or hop into YouTube, if you're not there, send the link to other people, and we'll make a final push for 200. We've been hitting 200 most days in the postseason.
Yeah.
More likely on a game day, but let's see if we can get there the day before game one between the Oilers and the Golden Knights. Edmonton Sports Talk, of course, presented by Play Alberta. You can skip the flight to Vegas because jackpots are just a tap away. Experience all the thrills of the casino right from your phone with Play Alberta. Download the app today and deposit $20 using the EST exclusive promo code 100casino for a $100 casino bonus. Sports Update with the Koob.
Having the 10th best odds to pick first overall, the Islanders have won the draft lottery in the NHL for the first time since 2009 when they drafted John Tavares first overall. And Utah also moved up from 14th to 4th overall, with San Jose now picking second, Blackhawks picking third, and the Preds with the 5th overall pick. It's a round 2 rematch. Panthers and Leafs seeing Florida take their last series against Toronto in 5 games back in 2023. Puck drop for that one goes just after 6. And for the Elks, 10 players have signed ahead of rookie camp this Sunday. 4 Canadians received contracts, with Manitoba wide receiver Jackson Tuchinski and Edmonton-born running back Jonathan Rosary getting deals. On the court, there's 2 games tonight. The Knicks battling the Celtics at the end of the first. Boston leads by 1 point in that game before Denver visits OKC, both games in the West and East Conference semifinal series. There's 10 games in the MLB, 4 of which are live. Dodgers up 3-0 on the Marlins in the 4th inning. I'm Zachary Kubusch. That was your sports update. The final segment of the Reid Wilkins Show brings us back on the other side of the break.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Looking for a winning strategy for your retirement? Contact me, Joaquin Gage at K4 Financial, where expertise meets dedication. I will always look for a careful approach to your retirement, ensuring your financial future is secure. From tailored strategies to clear, actionable advice, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't leave your future to chance. Get in touch with me, Joaquin Gage, today at k4financial.ca or email joaquin.gage@k4financial.ca to start planning for a brighter future and a more secure retirement.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you can afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki as a ninja fighting off evil samurai.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
Your brand deserves more than just a whisper, it deserves a buzz. At the Hive Product Marketing, they specialize in promotional products that bring the buzz. From eye-catching giveaways to unforgettable keepsakes, they got the perfect products to make your brand stand out and get noticed. Visit the Hive Product Marketing and let them create the buzz your business deserves. The Hive Product Marketing, the official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Talk. Visit them online at thehiveproductmarketing.com.
Must you click?
All right, the poll we put up in our YouTube chat, the Nasty Chat, who would you sooner see win the series? It's at 61% for the Panthers, 39% for the Maple Leafs, as the Panthers and the Leafs starting here just after 6 o'clock, round 2 underway. Oilers at Vegas tomorrow, so that's a 7:30 game. We'll have a 6 o'clock Oil Stream GCL Diesel pregame show. The Vegas power play, like we were telling you, very, very good. Some thoughts here on the PP from Oilers head coach Chris Knobloch.
All season long, they had a very strong power play. They had some ups and downs, but their downs were usually when they had some injuries and their regular five weren't available. But overall, they were able to keep it pretty hot. And, what we've seen through them, through our games in the regular season and pre-scouting what they did against Minnesota or other teams, they'll be adjusting, they'll be changing things up a little bit, they'll be watching what we've done. And during the regular season, you're always changing and focusing on certain things on the power play a little bit or special teams. But when you hit the playoffs, it gets a lot more specific because you're going to see a team possibly 7 games in a row opposed to just one and then you're done. You're not going to revamp your whole power play just for one night. So I'm sure they're going to be making a lot of adjustments to their power play. But, obviously the power play runs through Eichel. A lot of the plays that he makes, you got to be very aware of what he can do. So obviously we need for a good penalty kill, you need good sticks, you need good pressure up ice, and they are going to get chances. You need your goaltender make some big saves.
All right, and what about Leon and Connor, together or apart?
There's pros and cons of having them together, separate, and one pro would be of them playing together is obviously you've got a dangerous first line. They get a lot of ozone face-offs together that they can create something. Probably the biggest advantage is how well everyone else is playing. That lines 2 through 4 have something going right now. I guess the disadvantage would be having 2 players of that caliber not on separate lines to make it more difficult for the opposition. So there's pros and cons, and I'm sure throughout the series we will see both scenarios.
Well, I'll tell you what, Leon and Connor's line, maybe not the Oilers' best line over the final 2 games of that series, which is pretty good.
Got a limerick that came in. Got to get to it before the show's over. This is from VR Montenegro, who's going by Vapid Rube Montenegro. The Jets delivered a relentless attack, an OT winner to complete the comeback. The second round draws near, and a rumor I hear, an Oilers fan will show a victory rack.
Oh my goodness, that's a nice throwback.
Yes.
To something that happened last season. We used to do a fan of the night on Ched sometimes. I never pursued that interview. 780-218-9999 is how you text the afternoon inbox, presented by River Cree Resort and Casino, featuring Italia Restaurant, home of the $6.99 brunch special from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Sundays. Keep clicking the thumbs up. If you're on the YouTube chat, send the link to somebody else and say, hey, check out this show. Give them the thumbs up. And remember, subscribe to Edmonton Sports Talk on YouTube. We got a special new little jingle from Colin the Amishman.
Sub, must you sub, please sub, must you sub, you must subscribe.
Okay, that's beautiful work.
The word of the day with Reid and Jay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
What do they gotta say?
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you.
Let's find out.
English, do you speak it? Then you know what I'm saying.
We'll get to the word of the day here. Just a reminder that tomorrow, Game 1 is Tommy is going to be taking the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show on the road at Boston Pizza Westgate, which is 170th Street right across from the mall. So if you want to go watch the game down there with Tommy, we encourage that. The first word of the day, you want the hard one or the easy one first, Reid?
I don't care. Just go. Don't tell me which one's which.
Risible.
Risible. R-I-Z-Z-A-B-L-E. Why not? R-I-S-A-B-L-E.
What'd you say?
R-I-S-A-B-L-E.
R-I-S-I-B-L-E.
Really? Risible. So it's like visible, but with an R.
Yeah.
But the definition, can you use it in a sentence?
Although the teachers derided the student slang as risible nonsense, the same had been said about their own generation's lingo.
It's verbiage that is understood only by a select few. Why do I even get out of bed?
Risible is a formal word used disapprovingly to describe things that deserve to be mocked or laughed at because they are absurd or unreasonable.
Like
Koob's
expecting
purchase.
to find. Yes, I was just going to say
Koob's
that.
garage sale purchase was risible.
Poor Koob.
That's okay.
We love you, Koob.
We do.
Take it as a step forward in your life. Knowledge for future. Just be glad it was $40, not $4,000.
That's true.
Now you'll know when someone wants $4,000 for something. You'll be like,
say yes.
Perhaps I should not.
You call Dusty.
Okay.
Second word of the day, quintessential.
Oh, quintessential.
Quintessential.
Oh, I just got a QUINTESSENTIAL. And this would be something that best represents a genre or a not genre necessarily. It's the best representative of a group, such as Wolverine is the quintessential Claude superhero.
Of or relating to the perfect embodiment of something.
The perfect embodiment of something. All right.
2 out of 4, bro.
2 out of 4. Risible's a good word. I had never heard that before. Did a little more book learning today. Word of the day. Great stuff. Oh, this was a fun show. Edmonton Sports Talk, presented by Play Alberta. We are winding her down. So 6 a.m. the live stream resumes with the Nielsen Show. All day coverage with a primary focus of Game 1 between the Oilers and the Golden Knights, going right up to puck drop at 7:30 tomorrow evening. Great show, buddy.
Thanks, Reid.
On behalf of the Koob and the Glue Guy, I'm Reid. Have a wonderful evening.